World-Defying Dan God Chapter 5001, Small Town in the Sky. Chen Shang didn't know what it was at all. Even though he was already inside the Divine Mirror of Six Paths, he still felt very worried. The Divine Mirror of Six Paths is hidden in his body, so he can clearly sense the different changes of the Divine Mirror of Six Paths. He now feels that the Six Paths Divine Mirror is a little hot, causing him to feel an inexplicable heat. Sister Jing, can you suppress that thing? Chen Shang asked, is that thing too hot? When he met the mysterious giant beast before, he could feel very hot, but he didn't expect that after taking out this crystal and putting it into the Six Paths mirror, he couldn't even hold it down. No way, brother, the light released by that thing always contains a very strange heat. Sister Xiaojing said, nothing can hold it. I put it in the world-defining furnace, the heat is still can penetrate. Since Sister Xiaojing has been put into the God-defying furnace, there is still no way to suppress it, so there is really nothing to do. No, I can't keep it in the Divine Mirror of Six Paths. Chen Shang is now trying to find a place to settle down, and then deal with that mysterious crystal. Brother, that giant beast looks like a fish. We've seen it in the deep sea on the second floor. Sister Xiaojing suddenly said. That is to say, this place was originally supposed to be an ocean, but it became like this later. It's gone. Yes, I don't know why that giant beast evolved to be like this. Could it be because it ate a lot of things ejected from volcanoes? Chen Shang was flying in the air, looking at the ground all the time, looking for a place to stay. But at first glance, the ground is either cracked, or there is a lot of magma flowing and boiling. Apart from the volcano, there are no other mountains at all. The other mountains seem to have been melted by that weird magma. This third layer is the ocean of magma. And there was a lot of volcanic ash in the air. Chen Shang felt that if he was in contact with the volcanic ash for a period of time, he would have an indescribable discomfort. This ghost place. Chen Shang flew in the air and looked around, and then kept muttering, it can't go on like this. Go to the trial town. Sister Xiaojing said. The trial town should have been built with the help of the time cultivator, so we can only go to that place to see it. That's right. Chen Shang could only go to the trial town, because if he continued, he was worried that the Divine Mirror of Six Paths would be affected. Chen Shang couldn't understand. The crystal grew up in the giant beast, and the giant beast had nothing to do with it, but putting that small crystal into the Six Paths Divine Mirror made the Six Paths Divine Mirror react abnormally. Brother, that kind of crystal may be a kind of crystal that can only be cultivated by living beings. Sister Xiaojing said, the beasts eat people. Those people should have a certain level of cultivation. Do you remember that the one killed before? How many people are there? The few people that Chen Shang had killed before had those tiny crystals in their bodies that looked like animal cores. Later, he incorporated the crystals into Ahu's body, allowing Ahu to make a breakthrough. Chen Shang has also studied those small crystals before, and refining them into pills has no effect, but if they are absorbed by a fierce beast like Ahu, it will have a great effect. Brother, this should be made by the time cultivator. Sister Xiaojing said. I guess it may be that they can't control it, so they are sealed in this tower. If it is put outside, the whole big difference is estimated. It will be very confusing. Could it be that the things in the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda were created by the time cultivator? Chen Shang thought of the beasts on the first and second floors. Those looked normal. Yeah, they created it, but they were reluctant to destroy it, so they put it here. Sister Xiaojing said. These things were originally out of control, and then they grow wildly in it. Over time, even them I don't know what's going to happen. According to the token in his hand, Chen Shang flew to the trial town. After a short while, he finally came to the trial town. This small trial city is on an island suspended in the air, and it is also above the thick volcanic ash, because there is really no good place below. Chen Shang finally came to the trial town, and then also appeared in the lobby screen. Seeing Chen Shang again, everyone was quite excited, because they all wanted to know the situation on the third floor. At present, they only knew that the beasts on the third floor were a combination of humans and beasts, and they were also very powerful. After Chen Shang came to the small town of Trial, he immediately ran to the alchemy area. Everyone was very surprised when they saw this, because they rushed to the alchemy area, usually for alchemy. Did Chen Shang get enough beast cores? Are you about to start alchemy? When Chen Shang came to the alchemy area, he immediately took out the giant beast crystal from the Six Paths Divine Mirror. The moment the crystal came out, the surrounding temperature suddenly rose, and the alchemists in charge of supervising almost ignited spontaneously. "What is this?" an old alchemist exclaimed. "It's a beast core," Chen Shang said. "You guys should retreat a little further. This crystal is as big as a water tank, and there are several big pill furnaces here." Chen Shang chose one and put it in, and then started to suppress it. Those few alchemists immediately stayed away from the alchemy area, because if they continued to stay, they might die. The most terrible thing happened. The buildings around the alchemy area burst into flames without knowing it, and the fire spread quickly, but it didn't take long for the surrounding buildings to spontaneously ignite. Chen Shang is very clear that this is all released by that giant beast crystal. It is a very strange heat. Although there is a pill furnace separated now, the strange heat is still spreading rapidly, like an invisible weak ripple waved out, and then ignited everything around, making the surrounding very hot. Chen Shang immediately released his space power to isolate himself, otherwise, if he continued, he might be kicked out of the trial town. After Chen Shang used space power to isolate it, the fire was also controlled, and the burned building had no effect. After all, it could be built very quickly. It can only be suppressed with space power. Sister Xiaojing said. It seems that space power can restrain this kind of thing. Chen Shang released a magic furnace inside the pill furnace. This magic furnace, adding space power, can make the magic furnace like a small independent space, separated from the space he is in. Maintaining the operation of this small space also requires a lot of consumption. Fortunately, Chen Shang has a space fate, otherwise he can't do it at all. According to Chen Zhang's experience, as long as he can use his heavenly refinement technique to refine these difficult to control things, then he can completely control them. He wants to do the same now. He wants to control this mysterious giant beast crystal as soon as possible. If successfully controlled, he can control this power and then use it to dive deep from the crater. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 5002, Endless Heat. Everyone was staring at Chen Shang. They were all curious. How did Chen Zhang's giant beast crystal come from? Why did he say, "It's a beast core"? How can the beast core be so big? Chen Shang was the first to enter the third floor, and he must know a lot about the third floor. If you can learn the situation of the third floor from Chen Zhang's mouth, then it will be beneficial to the disciples of the major sects. Only Da Lingshe and Da Tianyao were able to know the details, and neither of them were in the lobby. Da Longzhu was also very curious about this, but he did not ask Da Lingshe and the others. These heavenly ancestors now realize that the immortal war profound demon pagoda is not simple, and has been transformed so that they cannot recognize it, especially the kind of terrifying fierce orcs they have never seen before. Then there is the environment on the third floor. They never imagined there would be such a harsh environment. Chen Shang was in the trial town, and he was using the technique of heaven refining to refine the crystals of giant beasts. He hadn't encountered such a problem for a long time. Fortunately, he possessed the technique of heavenly refinement, and the technique of heavenly refinement would also improve with Chen Zhang's constant understanding. The current Chen Shang, just because he cultivated the space destiny, has space power. Now he has connected the technique of alchemy with the space destiny, and used the power of space to run the technique of alchemy. As long as the space keeps shrinking, the giant beast crystals will also shrink with it. Chen Shang said in his heart. Then with the technique of heaven refining, it can also become a kind of alchemy power. From Chen Zhang's point of view, the giant beast crystal itself has a strong heat. Through the cooperation of the technique of heaven refining, the heat of the giant beast crystal can be enhanced, and then the space power can be used to shrink the space and crystallize the giant beast. Press down. In the refining process, as long as the impurities inside the giant beast crystal have been completely changed, and then integrated into their own soul power, they can be refined through the technique of heaven refining, and finally they can be controlled. This process is very tormenting. Even Chen Shang has to do his best. The main reason is that he can't use the world-defying divine furnace to cooperate with the six paths divine mirror, otherwise he will be much more relaxed. Now he has to rely on his own strength, so it is also a kind of experience for him. Everyone in the lobby has seen Chen Shang refining pills, but they have never seen him work so hard. So they all want to know, what kind of pill is Chen Shang refining? Da Lingshe and Da Tianyao are very clear that Chen Shang can practice anything, so they are not in a hurry to know. Even if they ask, they may not understand. In the blink of an eye, more than 2 months have passed. With Chen Zhang's level of alchemy, he actually sat there motionless for 2 consecutive months to concoct alchemy, which was unbelievable to everyone. And now there are other sect disciples who have entered the 3rd floor. Those who can enter the 3rd floor are all those who have stepped into the Feather Wonderland, and they are all disciples of the Heavenly Ancestor sect. This time, the first disciple of the Tianzu sect who entered the 3rd floor turned out to be a disciple of the Yishan Dragon sect. As soon as they entered the 3rd floor, they also encountered those terrifying beastmen. They were not as good at running as Chen Shang, and this group of people did not believe in evil. The one who ran to the trial town with the secret technique of longmen. The ferocious orc who injured them was not particularly big, it looked like a Batman, and seriously injured them all unscathed. You must know that after they all stepped into the Feather Wonderland, they were very good at the 2nd floor, and they also reserved a certain amount of strength in the 2nd floor. Take a hit. They also knew that Chen Shang was in the alchemy area, and they went to take a look when he was healing, but they couldn't see anything. Brother Shen, I heard that your thing is very big. The charming woman from Yishan Longmen asked with a smile. Chen Shang didn't open his eyes, but he heard the words outside, and he is now practicing seriously. It's the crystallization of a giant beast, so it shouldn't be considered a beast core. Chen Shang also knew that the other party was here to inquire, but since the Longmen disciples were all good, he would say more. Giant beast. The dragon sect disciple named the head frowned and said, is there a beast here too? It's not a vicious beast. Chen Shang said. Under the magma, there is a giant beast. Because the volcanic ash on the ground is thicker, you didn't find it. Can you elaborate? The disciple continued to ask. After the volcano erupts, giant clusters will be ejected, and those things are used to feed the giant beasts. Chen Shang said. You just need to observe carefully, but the volcanic ash is too thick and requires a closer distance, so it is quite dangerous. Afterwards, Chen Shang briefly talked about the situation of the giant beast, which shocked all the dragon sect disciples. The most incredible thing for them was that Chen Shang could actually dig out a crystal from that kind of giant beast. In their eyes, Chen Shang is much more powerful than those giant beasts. Brother Shen, in that case, are you planning to go down from the crater to have a look? The male disciple of the Yishan Dragon sect asked, is this too dangerous? I won't go for the time being. Chen Shang said. There are even more dangerous things on the 3rd floor. Ferocious orcs are only what we can see. Although the giant beast is big, it is not dangerous. The guy who eats the crystals in the giant beast is the most dangerous. The crystals in the giant beast are specially used to feed other things. A female disciple's face changed. Is it used to feed the fierce orcs? No. Chen Shang shook his head and said, what the fierce orcs eat is also ejected from the volcano. I don't know what is eating the crystals of the giant beast, but that kind of thing is very dangerous. If Chen Shang wants to explore from the crater, he has to find that kind of thing first. He suspects that it is very likely to be hidden in the crater. The disciples of Yishan Longmen are all injured. They don't dare to think that far now, and then they all go back to heal their injuries. It's not bad that they can save a life. After many days of refining, Chen Shang finally pressed the giant beast crystal into a bead. He held it in his hand, and the beads were warm and smooth, containing powerful hot energy. Brother, isn't this thing's ability to be hot? Sister Xiaojing said, it's not that kind of intense heat, but it's slowly heating up, and then it keeps heating up, making it unstoppable. It was like this in the 6 Paths Divine Mirror before. It was only a little hot at first, and then the heat continued to accumulate and superimpose, causing the 6 Paths Divine Mirror to appear abnormal. Yes, I still haven't understood this kind of heat yet, but it's very helpful to me. My 3rd destiny, maybe this thing. Chen Shang said, I have to continue my research and get after you understand it. You can use this thing to cultivate your destiny. To figure it out, Chen Shang had to find the guy who ate the giant beast crystal and see how the other party refined and used the giant beast crystal energy. No one knows what was made, only that he left the alchemy area in a hurry, and then he ended up in nowhere. At this time, the small town of Trial welcomed another group of injured disciples. They were demon ancestors. When they came to the small town of Trial, none of them were complete, and they were all seriously injured. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5003, Under the Volcano. Chen Shang never expected that these disciples of the Heavenly Ancestor sect would be so tough, and not a few of them would die in a head-to-head encounter with the fierce orcs. He has left the small town of Trial, and he is going to the crater to investigate the specific situation here. I'm different from them. They just want to get the beast core to go to the next level, and I want to find what is hidden here. Get powerful power from it, so it will be very easy to enter the next level. Ever since Chen Shang came into contact with the space pearls on the previous floor, he knew that there was a kind of powerful beings that grew up on the floors of the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda, and they also possessed special energy. He also found some clues on the third floor, which are the crystals in the body of the giant beast. Brother, get a few more crystals of those giant beasts. Sister Xiaojing said. Then make a lot of pills, and finally make a lot of the cores of the condensed pill crystals into the fate, so that you can cultivate the fate. It's too tiring to directly refine giant beast crystals. Chen Shang smiled and said, I'm pretty sure that there is something hidden here. They eat giant beast crystals. Find this kind of guy first. This is why Chen Shang is going to fly to the crater now. He suspects that that kind of thing is hidden near the crater. Brother, if you want to practice things next time, don't try the small town. Sister Xiaojing said. There are too many people watching in that place, and there is no way to operate secretly, which is very time-consuming. Yes, if I want to refine something, I will send out a large pearl oyster, and then hide in it to refine. Chen Shang said with a smile. I can completely release the pearl oyster, and then control it to levitate in the air. When Chen Shang was on the second floor, he also took many beautiful giant pearl oysters. In particular, the pearl oysters with the Pearl King were taken away by him. If one were released and hidden in the dense volcanic ash, it would be difficult to be found. Even if it is discovered, it is difficult to get in. The pearl oyster is very strong, and it cannot be broken through in a short time. Not long after, Chen Shang came to the top of a large crater. This volcano was very quiet. Chen Shang was suspended in the air and looked down, but he couldn't see anything, because thick volcanic ash was floating everywhere. Volcanic ash can corrode a lot of energy, causing the penetration of consciousness to be greatly affected. Chen Shang couldn't detect the magma below even at high altitude. He guessed that there must be giant fish and beasts under the boiling magma. The eruption time of each volcano is not fixed. Chen Shang could hear some movement in the distance. It should be that the big volcano over there was erupting. Chen Shang slowly descended, and at the same time released the divine power of space to protect himself. The crater is very large. Chen Shang landed in the middle and looked around. It was full of golden magma, like it was in the middle of the ocean. Is there nothing coming? This volcano shouldn't erupt, right? Chen Shang was worried that he landed halfway, and then was sprayed out. At this time, he also held the bead made from the crystal of the giant beast in his hand. Chen Shang stimulated the energy of this bead and cooperated with his spatial divine power, so that he could not let himself feel that strange heat, and would not be corroded by the volcanic power. In this way, when he dives, there will not be much hindrance. After diving in, Chen Shang also tried to use space jumping, which could be faster and perform continuous space jumping very smoothly. In this way, the trip could be shortened. He was careful, and it took him half a day to finally come to the world under the crater. He couldn't be sure if it was deep underground. He just came to a golden red space. In this space, there was no lava at all. He looked up at the sky, and there were countless cyclones in the sky. He guessed that those cyclones were connected to the volcano. In the golden red space, there was a lot of golden red aerosols floating around, and Chen Shang didn't dare to lift the space divine power shield on his body. He was worried that after coming into contact with the environment here, he would be very traumatized. Every cyclone mouth is connected to a volcano. If the volcano erupts, will there be a dough ball formed by tens of thousands of people, and then sprayed out? Chen Shang looked around, looking for that kind of person. Brother, let's go down and see. Sister Xiaojing said, it seems that you haven't landed to the bottom yet. Really, I feel so down. Chen Shang said, I'll give it a try, see if there's any more. Because Chen Shang looked down, it was a very rich golden red air cloud. As he continued to go deeper, he found that there was a golden red liquid flowing below, and it looked like a golden red ocean. This shouldn't be magma, right? Chen Shang was quite puzzled. He was a space force, and moved this liquid into his shield. He touched it with his finger, only to feel that the finger was very cold, not hot. However, he found that these liquids were very viscous. His **** were stuck together by these liquids, and when they were separated, a layer of skin was torn off the fingers. Could it be that those people were stuck together by these liquids? Chen Shang was even more puzzled, and then continued to look down. Suddenly, the golden red water surface began to fluctuate, and the waves began to rise. Are you going to start? Chen Shang immediately ascended into the sky, not daring to get too close to the water. Not only did the waves rise, but also a gust of wind blew away the golden red mist in this space. Chen Shang could also see the situation on the water surface from a high place, and saw that the golden red ocean below really set off waves of wild waves, and under these wild waves, there were countless golden people. I can't tell if these people are dead or alive, but Chen Shang is sure that these people are the kind that spewed out of a volcano. After the wind on the sea surface, a tornado was formed, and countless people were rolled up, and then merged into a ball, with the sea tornado docking those cyclones in the sky. In this way, tens of thousands of people condensed into a ball, went out through the cyclone, went to the ground with the eruption of the volcano, and became food for the giant fish and beasts. So it is. Chen Shang now understands what a volcanic eruption looks like. But he still didn't know where these people came from. Under the entire golden red ocean, it seems that all of them are such people. And those golden red liquids must have a certain speciality, so these people can feed giant fish beasts. Chen Shang observed carefully, and suddenly felt that there was danger approaching. He immediately teleported to avoid it. After teleporting away from the place, he saw where he was just now, a young man with a spear appeared. This young man was golden all over, and his body was huge, more than double the height of normal-sized people like Chen Shang. What kind of guy is this? He looks very strong. Chen Shang was very surprised, but he was not particularly afraid. He was able to avoid the opponent's attack, so the opponent couldn't do anything to him. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 5004, King Kong Burning Man. The golden young man also noticed the location of Chen Shang, and then continued to charge, holding a spear and stabbing directly. Hey, what are you doing? Chen Shang snorted. I didn't provoke you, did I? Who are you? The golden youth asked, his voice as loud as thunder. My name is Chen Shang. Chen Shang said. It came in from above. Impossible, no one can come in from above. The golden youth didn't believe it and said loudly, you must be the resurrected fish food. Chen Shang frowned. He knew what fish food was, the people who were soaking in it. I'm not. Chen Shang waved his hand quickly. He knew that this person must know a lot of things, so he wanted to communicate with him. You really aren't. The golden youth thought for a while, and found that Chen Shang was not the same as those fish food, and then his attitude eased a lot. I really came from above. Chen Shang said with a smile. Big brother, I have no ill intentions. How did you get down? The golden youth said, can you go out? Chen Shang looked at the top, pointed to a big cyclone above their heads, and said, I came down from the crater, and then I should be able to go out. Just go out from that place. You can't get out. We have been trapped here for many years, and we can't get out. The golden youth said, if you enter this place by mistake, you will be trapped for countless years like us. By the way, are those people below all fish food? Chen Shang asked. Why are they called fish food? Where do they all come from? I don't know where it came from. In short, these people are endless. The golden youth said. Every once in a while, the wind will blow here, and then the fish food will become a ball, and it will be sent to the sky to feed the fish. What about the fish? Have you seen those fish? Chen Shang quickly asked again. He thought those fish should be giant fish beasts. However, the giant fish beast should be on top. How did it come down? I've seen it. Every once in a while, a fish will run down to lay eggs. The golden youth said. The little fish hatched from the eggs will float into the air, then leave here and come back when they grow up. Chen Shang looked at the spear in the young man's hand, frowned and said, Big brother, are you here to fish? Yes, we eat fish for a living. But I only catch small fish. Big fish need the whole tribe to work together to kill. The golden youth said. I thought you were a small fish just now. Chen Shang understood. Those giant fish and beasts were finally eaten by these golden people. The fish eater he has been looking for is actually here, and he is trapped below and cannot get up. By the way, besides fishing, will you encounter other things? After Chen Shang finished speaking, he described the fierce orcs. You're talking about demon hunters. I've met them before, and they like to hunt and eat us. Of course, when they appeared, they were all in groups. Only a group of them can kill one of us. The golden youth said, because fighting alone, they have no chance of winning. They are above. Since they can come down, they can definitely go up. Chen Shang said. Didn't you follow them up? Devil Hunter is from above. How is this possible? The golden youth did not believe it. I've seen them above, otherwise, I wouldn't have described them in such detail. Chen Shang said. He suddenly felt that there should be a special passage for the fierce orc hunter. Are you willing to go back to the tribe with me? The golden youth asked. Of course I would. Chen Shang is not afraid of being overshadowed, because his spatial power can be used here, and he can run away at any time. Chen Shang followed the golden youth flying in the air, and also learned that the other party's name was Da Gang. Da Gang, are the people in your clan as big as you? Chen Shang asked. No, they are just a little taller than you. Da Gang said. I am a warrior in my clan, I am born like this. There are not too many warriors like us. Chen Shang nodded. Da Gang, you should be a relatively young warrior, right? Chen Shang asked again. Yes, I'm in charge of hunting small fish to improve myself. Da Gang said, when I improve almost, I can participate in hunting big fish. Chen Shang really wanted to see how they kill the big fish. Not long after, Chen Shang followed Da Gang to their tribe. Da Gang said before that there are many tribes like them, and he has come into contact with dozens of them. This tribe is also floating on the water, and they are all made of materials from giant fish and beasts, like an island. After Chen Shang returned to the tribe with Da Gang, he saw many golden people. Their skin and hair, their eyes, even their teeth and tongues, were all golden. Even the blood and internal organs in the body are all golden. Chen Shang has never fought with Da Gang, and he doesn't know how strong the opponent is, but he thinks it should be much stronger than the ferocious orcs. After all, if the ferocious orcs want to kill one of their warriors, they have to form a group. After seeing Chen Shang, Da Gang's clansmen were also very curious. Like Da Gang, they thought that Chen Shang was a resurrected fish food. Da Gang explained to them that Chen Shang is a human from above, not a demon hunter or a fish eater. It can be seen that Da Gang is a very respected warrior in the clan, so even if he is against Chen Shang, he would not dare to express it. Da Gang took Chen Shang to see the patriarch. Chen Shang saw the patriarch. It was a short bald old man with golden body and a small golden goatee. His old bald head was also shining golden. The primitive people, it's really rare to see. The patriarch said with a smile. Old patriarch, why do you say that I am a primitive? Chen Shang asked with a frown. We are Vajra fire people. Our ancestors are also primitive people. The patriarch said. It's just because of the influence of the environment, so we continue to evolve. In that case, you are also considered human beings. Chen Shang said. Forget it. It's really rare that you can come here. The patriarch smiled. It seems that some changes will take place here. Grandpa, how did those fish food come from? Are they all primitive people? Chen Shang asked. No, they are not human, but apes, said the old patriarch. Ah, I can't see it. Where did they all come from? Too many, Chen Shang said in surprise. Not much, not much. If you have seen ants, you will know. The old patriarch smiled. The reproduction speed of those ape beasts is similar to that of ants, endless. Grandpa, do you want to go up there? Chen Shang suddenly asked. If these Vajra firemen go to the top, they will definitely be able to easily hang those fierce orcs, that is, the so-called demon hunters in Vajra fire's mouth. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5005, Hengyan Shenden. We can't go up there. Once we do, it will disrupt the order. This space will be out of balance, said the old patriarch. Why, there are a lot of demon hunters on it, don't you hate these guys very much? Chen Shang asked. Hate is hate, but demon hunt can't threaten us at all. We are here, as long as we eat fish, we can live forever, why not do it? The patriarch laughed. Chen Shang couldn't refute. The Vajra firemen can live very well here, and they can become very strong, and they have no natural enemies, so they really don't need to break the balance. Grandpa, I always feel that there is something hidden here. Why are there so many apes becoming fish food? There must be some force behind this. Chen Shang said. Ignorance is a blessing. You always want to know so much, so you will continue to find out the truth, and in the end, it will lead you to doom. The patriarch shook his head and said, Young man, you can't do this. Okay, Grandpa, I'll ask one last question. Chen Shang took out the beads he made with the crystal of a giant beast, and said, Can you see what it is? Seeing this bead, the patriarch's old eyes suddenly widened a lot. He knew very well that the bead in Chen Zhang's hand was made by Chen Shang using the crystal of a giant beast, and it was equivalent to a kind of pill. This is Dan, the old patriarch's voice trembled and was very excited. That's it, Chen Shang said. I made it. I can come down mainly because of this thing. What I want to ask is, the crystals in the big fish, the flame power emitting is very strange, what is it? Can you show it to me? The old man did not answer immediately, but kept staring at the pill in Chen Zhang's hand. Yes, Chen Shang handed it over. Hengyan Shendan, I haven't seen it for many years. The last time I saw it, I was very young, just a child. The old patriarch was very excited. Hengyan Divine Pill. Chen Shang didn't expect this kind of pill to have a name. The crystals in Big Fish's body are called eternal flame crystals. The patriarch nodded and said, the group of apes here are called eternal apes. Because they can release an eternal flame. Chen Shang nodded, finally knowing the origin of that flame. Of course, the flames they release are very rudimentary and are not harmful. The patriarch continued, but when they gather together, after being eaten by the big fish can condense eternal flame crystals in the body. So that's the case. Then the elixir I made with eternal flame fire crystal is called eternal flame divine pill. Chen Shang nodded. Not bad. In fact, even as, it is difficult to obtain the eternal flame crystal. The patriarch said, although big fish come in from time to time, it is extremely difficult to hunt and kill. Some big fish come in and finish spawning, and they can run out again. We are also many years apart before we can obtain a fire crystal of eternal flame. There are a lot of big fish on it. Chen Shang said, I got the eternal flame crystal from a big fish. In fact, in terms of Chen Zhang's strength, being able to obtain the fire crystal of eternal flame is already very heaven-defying. The power of the Vajra firemen here is much stronger than that of Chen Shang, but even if they go to besiege the big fish, they may not be able to obtain the eternal flame fire crystal. That kind of big fish is so huge, and the skin and scales are very thick. Even if a lot of Vajra firemen go together, it is difficult to kill the big fish in a short period of time. Knowing that the big fish could not be beaten, he would run away immediately and then return to the ground. The King Kong fireman had nothing to do with the big fish. Patriarch, does this Hengyan divine pill help you? Chen Shang asked. It can make us rejuvenate. The old patriarch said, look at me, I am very old now. I am not eternal, but if I can eat the Hengyan Shendan, I can live longer. Do you want the Hengyan divine pill? Chen Shang suddenly had an idea. Of course, the old man said quickly. Maybe, we can cooperate. I can make pills, Chen Shang said. How about I exchange one eternal flame divine pill for 10 eternal flame fire crystals? Could it be less? How about 5 for 1? Said the old patriarch. Okay, however, I have a small condition, that is, I need the beast core in the demon hunter, can you help me catch some demon hunters? Chen Shang said. By the way, you need to get a lot of eternal flame fire crystals, how do you get it up there? The devil hunt is not a problem at all. It's a little difficult for us to go up, said the old patriarch. I can help you, Chen Shang smiled and said. By the way, can the warriors of your tribe be able to kill big fish? Definitely. After going to the top, the big fish can't run very far, and we can take it, said the old patriarch. After Chen Shang discussed with the old patriarch, he acted immediately. Chen Shang used the storage artifact to put more than 200 Vajra fire warriors in, among them the big gang that Chen Shang had encountered before. The big fish is very huge, even if it is more than 200 King Kong fire warriors, it looks small in comparison. However, the old patriarch also said that they have a trick for the big fish, so he doesn't have to worry. In this way, Chen Shang put them into the storage artifact, then returned the same way, went out from the crater, and came to the top. As expected, they were all very professional, and as soon as they came out, they could tell where there was a demon hunt and a big fish. Among them, the 5-person team specially went to kill the demon hunters, and then there were more than 200 soldiers who rushed to the magma to surround and kill the big fish. Chen Shang was watching from the air, especially the scene of besieging and killing the big fish was very spectacular, and it also allowed him to see the power of the King Kong fire warrior. If there are not dozens of so-called fierce orc demon hunters, it is impossible to win a King Kong fire warrior. If faced with stronger King Kong fire warriors, even hundreds of demon hunters may not be able to defeat the King Kong fire warrior. Chen Shang released a large pearl oyster, and then floated on top of the magma. There are 9 space pearls inside the pearl oyster. Chen Shang got a lot of space pearls at the beginning, but he didn't use up all of them, and he also kept some of them. The 9 space pearls inside this pearl oyster have been refined by Chen Shang, and under the spatial divine power released by the space pearl, the outer layer of the pearl oyster can have a space shield. The pearl oyster floats on the magma, and even if it is corroded, it will not be particularly serious. Chen Shang was in the pearl shell and waited to collect the eternal flame fire crystal in the beast core of the fierce orc. In just 3 days, the Vajra fire warriors obtained 5 eternal flame fire crystals for Chen Shang. They didn't get it by killing the big fish, but they went into the big fish and cut it away, and then ran out again, without killing the big fish. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5006, Ultimate Trial. After Chen Shang got 5 eternal flame fire crystals, he started alchemy. Inside the pearl oyster, he can rely on the space divine power released by the 9 space pearls inside, and cooperate with his magic furnace to concoct alchemy, which will have better results. What's more, he can reverse the flow of time through his own space destiny. When he was on the 2nd floor, the space power of the Pearl King could do it. And now, Chen Shang can also do it by relying on the power of space fate. In this way, he can refine the Hengyan divine pill in a shorter time. Chen Shang had been refining pills inside pearl shell for a long time, but after he came out, only 2 days had passed outside. He has also made 5 Hengyan divine pills now. According to the 5-for-1 agreement between him and the old patriarch, he can exchange for 25 eternal flame fire crystals. Chen Shang needs a lot of eternal flame fire crystal, and he wants to use it to make his life for himself. At that time, he will be able to fully grasp the eternal flame. This is a terrible fire. As long as Chen Shang waited patiently, the eternal flames of fire crystals would arrive one after another. He was resting inside the pearl oyster, and suddenly a long-lost feeling appeared. After sensing it, he jumped up immediately. If this feeling hadn't appeared suddenly, he would have almost forgotten that Great Yaozu. The Great Yaozu didn't die, but was trapped in a certain space. Before, Chen Shang struggled to communicate with her. Later, she gave Chen Shang a suggestion, that is, to let him practice Yaoshan divine art, in order to save her soul from that space. After Dao Ancestor and Chen Shang got in touch, they rested. Chen Shang also entered the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda after that, and almost didn't remember it. I have a space destiny now. Maybe I can draw a distance with Dao Zhu, and then communicate directly with her. Chen Shang hurriedly closed his eyes, followed the faint feeling of Great Yaozu, and released his spatial divine power, hitting a spot. It didn't take long for him to suddenly hear the voice of Dao Ancestor. Hey, why do you have such a powerful space power? Chen Shang heard Daozu's surprised voice. I just cultivated. I'm in the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda. Chen Shang said with a smile. Da Yaozu, we can communicate directly. You really are amazing. No wonder it's. Daozu didn't continue, but aroused Chen Zhang's curiosity. What could it be? Chen Shang asked. He had many things to ask Great Yaozu. You'll find out later. Daozu didn't answer, which made Chen Zhang's heart itch. By the way, Big Yaozu, how much do you know about Little Yaozu? Chen Shang asked. Not much. She and I are not the same person, but it can be the same. Daozu said very contradictingly, making Chen Shang puzzled. I haven't met her before, but she has seen me in her dreams a long time ago, and she also dreamed a lot of unbearable images. Chen Shang said. Then she was full of hostility towards me because of this. Fortunately it was resolved later. Well, it's normal, because I've had such a dream too. My dream shouldn't be too different from hers. Daozu said this, his tone was obviously a bit strange. Then the dream world shouldn't have happened, right? Chen Shang asked. It will happen. Daozu was very sure. In my dream, I seem to have done bad things to her. Chen Shang said. It seems that her dream is very messy. There are many details that are incomplete. Daozu sighed softly. It's not like that. No way. Chen Shang became more and more confused. According to your description of her hostility towards you, the main reason is that she can't accept you and her to cultivate Yaoshan Shenggong together. Daozu sighed softly. Actually, it's not a matter, it's just a joint cultivation of Yaoshan Shenggong, mine that's what dreams are like. Chen Shang frowned, he thought that he had done something cruel to Xiao Yaozu in his dream, but it turned out that he finally cultivated Yaoshan's divine art together. But he also remembered that Xiao Yaozu said at the beginning that she didn't know what the dream was like. I'm in a mess now. Chen Shang said. It's okay. You are alone, and after integrating the Yaoshan Taoist species, you can rescue me. Daozu said. After I come out, I will help you solve the conflict with Xiaoyaozu. I don't have any conflict with her anymore. And I have to save her. Chen Shang said. That's good, said Daozu. Young Master Shen, you are a big variable. Time cultivators can't help you now, but they will definitely find a way to deal with you. By the way, Great Yaozu, are you a time cultivator? Chen Shang asked. Yes, I am a time cultivator. Because I didn't complete the task, I was punished and trapped in a time-space seal. Daozu said, I need you to rescue me. Otherwise, I will die in the time-space seal. I understand, I will definitely save you. Chen Shang said, but you have to promise me one condition. No matter what, you have to protect the world-defying universe for me. No problem, world-defying universe is a pure land, even if you don't say it, I will protect world-defying universe. Said Dao Ancestor. Then I can rest assured. Chen Shang said with a smile. Mr. Shen, are you facing the Shenzhen Xuanmo Tower? I can only feel that you are inside, but the environment around you is not easy. Asked Daozu. Yes, this tower is very evil. Chen Shang suddenly felt that Dao Ancestor must know something. Tell me, Daozu didn't know how many years she had been sealed. Now that someone can talk to her, she is naturally very happy. Chen Shang talked about the second and third floors. This is indeed the work of the time cultivator. The people you meet on the second floor are all from the ancient time and space. They come into experience. As long as they can reach the 18th floor, they can become time cultivators. Said Daozu. Ah, Chen Shang was very surprised. And if you can reach the end, you can also become a time cultivator. Daozu said again, being a time cultivator is not a good thing. You must first kill yourself in other time and space. Da Yaozu, did you do what you did? Chen Shang asked. No, so I couldn't complete the task, and finally I was discovered and sealed. Daozu said, actually, there is another time and space of mine that is not much, that is, the little Yaozu in Shaoyishan, the only other me. Okay, are the things that appear on the second and third floors of the Immortal War Profound Demon Tower also made by the time cultivator? Chen Shang asked. No, time cultivator's control is getting weaker and weaker. There are many changes in the Shenzhen Xuanmo Tower that they don't know about. Daozu said, it seems that their time is running out. Chen Shang was very flustered. The time cultivators were controlling the Immortal War Profound Demon Tower. If they suddenly ended, then the tower would definitely suffer as well. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 5007, Harvest Fire Crystal. The time cultivator is so powerful, how can there be no time? Don't scare me. There is another reason why Chen Shang felt fear. The time cultivator has made a lot of big troubles, such as the fusion of the two different heavens now, or the creation of a lot of terrifying things, such as the things in this Immortal War Mysterious Demon Tower. Then there is, I don't know how many time and space have been messed up by the time cultivator. If the time cultivator can't control all this in the end, it will become very chaotic. Chen Shang remembered that his father, and the missing ghost girl country were all taken away by the time cultivator, and he didn't know what happened to them. In short, everything is out of the time cultivator's control. They should also pay a lot of money to correct it and regain control of it all, but they can't go back. All the chaos they created is now accelerating. Yaozu said. And the more they have to forcibly correct it, the more chaotic it will be. Chen Shang remembered the various chaos in the past, such as the fusion of two different heavens. In order to correct it, he had to kill another same person and then leave one person behind. You don't have to worry too much, there is still no major problem in the Shenzhen Xuanmo Tower. Daozu said. You have a good experience in it, and at the end, your strength must be very strong. Okay, Chen Shang was relieved and said, Da Yaozu, I look forward to meeting you. I'll continue to recuperate. My soul is not very good, and I need to recuperate for a long time. Daozu said, take care of yourself. Chen Shang thought that the time cultivator was very powerful before, but he didn't expect to play it off, and it became more and more messy. He is not very clear about what the time cultivator is doing now. He only hopes that his father and the Shen family will not be affected, and then there will be no accidents in the Demon Soul Girl country. I have to get to the next floor as soon as possible. Chen Shang originally planned to explore the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda, but now it seems that he must hurry up to the last floor to see if he can become a time cultivator and then go inside to understand the inside story. The King Kong fireman is still hunting those big fish outside, Chen Shang needs to accumulate a certain amount of giant beast crystals. He is very sure that he can refine a large number of eternal flame fire crystals into fate. In fact, with his current strength, it is not enough to defeat the fierce orcs on the 3rd floor. If he does not have enough strength, he cannot enter the next floor. Every time you enter the next floor, the beasts you encounter are very strong. You have to break through at that floor. Chen Shang said. That's exactly what it is, that's why you are forced to keep getting stronger. In fact, the speed of Chen Zhang's improvement is very fast. He cultivated the space destiny on the 2nd floor, and he can hang the beasts on the 2nd floor. Although the disciples of the other heavenly ancestor sect stepped into the 2nd floor of Feather Wonderland, they were still struggling to face the ferocious beasts. If Chen Shang cultivates his destiny again at this level, then he will be very easy to face the fierce orcs. As for the other disciples of the Tianzu sect, they are only in the early stage of Feather Fairy realm. They may have to cultivate to the later stage in order to beat the fierce orcs, and they need to improve one after another. Even if they reach the late Feather Fairy realm, they still need teamwork to defeat the fierce orcs, and Chen Shang relying on his own strength is enough. Brother, there should be a lot of big fish here. It's enough for them to toss for a long time. Sister Xiaojing said. I hope they can be faster, so that you can quickly get more Yongyan fire crystals. I probably need several thousand fire crystals of eternal flame. Chen Shang frowned and said, it will take a lot of time to go on like this. Chen Shang didn't want to wait that long, so he went down from the crater again and found the old patriarch. He asked the old patriarch to help him pull a few trusted Vajra fireman tribes, bring them to the 2nd floor, and go hunting for eternal flame fire crystal together. They don't need to kill the big fish, just go in and get the eternal flame crystal. And the big fish eats a lot of eternal apes, and can regenerate eternal flame fire crystal. The old patriarch was worried that Chen Shang wouldn't be able to concoct pills, but Chen Shang told him not to worry, he could accept all the fire crystals of eternal flame. He was in that pearl oyster, and the flow of time was different, so he could buy a lot of time to make alchemy. In addition, he is now concocting alchemy, relying on multiple space pearls and his own space fate. The speed will become very fast, and it will be very easy. After getting familiar with it, Chen Shang can even control multiple magic furnaces to concoct pills at the same time. The Vajra Fire people have a great demand for the Hengyan Divine Pill, because their alchemy skills are limited, it takes many years to refine a pill, and the quality is still very poor, and it takes a lot of resources. And now there is a chance for them to quickly obtain the Hengyan Divine Pill, so they are very active. They all knew that Chen Shang would not stay here for too long, so they worked very hard to obtain the Eternal Flame Fire Crystal. In just a few days, Chen Shang attracted more than a dozen tribes, and he was in contact with the old patriarchs of more than a dozen tribes. Chen Shang not only obtained a lot of Eternal Flame Fire Crystals, but also a lot of beast cores from fierce orcs. He doesn't worry about the beast core at all now. He needs enough eternal flame fire crystals to make it into a destiny. In the blink of an eye, 3 months have passed. Chen Shang has accumulated more than 10,000 eternal flame crystals now. The number of big fish here is beyond his imagination. Those tribes also obtained enough Hengyan Divine Pill, and they couldn't leave the bottom for too long, so they all hurriedly returned. The cooperation with Chen Shang was a happy end. Chen Shang then started busy with his own business, that is, using a large amount of Yongyan fire crystals to refine his life. This takes a lot of time and also a very stable environment. Therefore, Chen Shang decided to go down from the crater and do it in the tribe of Dagong. Because of their good cooperation with them, and because Chen Shang is an alchemist, Vajra Fireman is very friendly to Chen Shang. Knowing that Chen Shang wanted to concoct pills, more than a dozen tribes sent their strongest warriors to protect Chen Shang. Under the full protection of safety, Chen Shang began to refine Hengyan's lifestyle. Chen Shang also needs the flame of eternal flame, which is of great help to alchemy. Many disciples of the sect have entered the 3rd floor one after another, and have also learned a lot about the 3rd floor. They have also encountered the big fish that Chen Shang mentioned before. They only have the chance to escape from the big fish, and they dare not touch it, let alone take the crystals from the big fish. In the 3rd layer, they can only bury their heads in cultivation, collect all kinds of energy in the 3rd layer, and then let the alchemist make pills for them to absorb. Only by breaking through can they beat the fierce orcs. They were very curious about where Chen Shang went, and the tiger-shaped beast beside Chen Shang didn't show up for a long time. Chen Zhang's whereabouts are erratic, everyone is used to it. I just hope that Chen Shang can give them some surprises, because now the third floor is very boring, everyone is cultivating, and no one dares to go to the fierce orcs to fight. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5008, Eternal Flame. Some time ago, a large number of Vajra firemen were active, besieging Dayu, and many disciples of the Shu Xian sect saw it, but they did not dare to provoke it. In their eyes, the Vajra fireman is much more terrifying than the fierce orc. A small number of disciples have seen the Vajra fireman easily kill a vicious orc. Most of the disciples of the Shu Xian Zongmen often gather in the small town of Trials, so these things have spread, and they all know at this moment that the third floor is more complicated than they thought. Ferocious orcs are not the strongest, they can't afford to offend those big fish beasts and Vajra firemen, but fortunately they will not take the initiative to attack them. Of course, there is one person that cannot be messed with, and that is Chen Shang. Although Chen Shang rarely shows up, they all know that this character is very dangerous. There are not many disciples in the Shu Xian Zongmen, and they are not stupid. If they know they can't beat them, they will secretly cultivate to improve their strength, so the number of disciples who can reach the third floor has gradually increased. The more people there are, the more discoveries will be made. For example, they found other human beings, and they suspected that it was the people who attacked Chen Shang on the second floor. As for the understanding of those people, Chen Shang only knew that they came from the ancient time and space. He hasn't encountered it on the third floor, but he thinks there must be one on the third floor. The third floor is too big, and no one will be able to finish the tour. If you stay on the third floor long enough, you will definitely be able to discover more new things. Ahu is out. After he came out, he mingled with Dagong and his group of Vajra fire warriors. It is true that we often fight together, and we are very happy to learn from each other. Ahu was quickly integrated into them. Chen Shang was so happy to see Ahu so happy, and then decided to let him stay on the third floor, because if he continued, Ahu would definitely not be able to keep up with his rhythm, and he would not be able to beat those powerful enemies, so he would stay in the Six Paths Divine Mirror. It was very stuffy inside. Ahu can get along with the Vajra firemen, and Chen Shang also gave Ahu some Hengyan divine pill, so that he can stay here and grow stronger with the Vajra firemen. Ahu's strength is far less than Vajra fireman, but his Vajra fireman did not reject him. First, he brought it from Chen Shang, and secondly, Ahu gave them a lot of freshness. Knowing that Ahu's eating beast pill is useful, Chen Shang also refined some for him, and instructed the alchemists in the Vajra fireman. Vajra fireman's alchemy skills are very backward, and Chen Shang just taught them some alchemy skills, which can benefit them a lot, and there is a huge improvement. In the future, their alchemy skills will not be a problem at all. In order to thank Chen Shang, they also gave Chen Shang many things, such as the holy relic of Vajra firemen. They're so-called holy relics or energy crystals that have been gathered with their energy for many years, and they have accumulated a lot. Chen Shang used these crystals to refine the Hengyan fate, and it was also very useful. He didn't continue to refine the Hengyan fate. When it was almost time, he would stop to rest and go out to breathe. In fact, the elders of the major sects have also waited for a long time. They expect that it may take several years for the Immortal War Conference to end. Fortunately, the entire Great Yishan has been closed and transformed, and everyone gathered in the Tianlong Star Field to wait for the end of the conference. After the conference, Da Yishan has almost lifted the ban, and the site can be divided at that time. Only those heavenly ancestors knew that after the Great Yishan lifted the ban, it was equivalent to changing the sky. Even these ancestors, I am afraid they will face some dangerous enemies. They certainly won't say these things. But Chen Shang in it had already guessed that because the time cultivator was going further and further on the road to death, it was equivalent to pushing all the worlds of time and space to intertwine in chaos, resulting in all kinds of destructive collisions. Chen Shang was able to gain a lot of time in the pearl shell with the help of the space life characteristics that influence time. He stayed inside for several years, and it was only a month or so outside. He has refined the Hengyan fate, and successfully merged it. Now he has 3 fates: Tianshuan fate, space fate and Hengyan fate. In addition to bringing him more powerful divine power, eternal flame fate also made him completely master the eternal flame. Using this flame for alchemy can make it easier to refine everything, and it is an excellent flame for alchemy. Eternal flame has other characteristics, but Chen Shang has not discovered it yet. He hugged and said goodbye to Ahu, and then came up from the crater. As soon as he came out, he immediately went to find a fierce orc, and used space life to interfere, so that no one would see him. When the ferocious orcs saw Chen Shang, they naturally rushed over and attacked. After Chen Shang had 3 fates, his divine power became much stronger. With the spatial divine power, he could easily resist the opponent's attack. Then, with a wave of his hand, his palm was like a thunder in anger, and he grabbed the snake-body fierce orc and scratched it directly. Even Chen Shang was shocked by this kind of power. He thought that this should be the improvement brought by Heng Yan's fate. At that moment, he burst out with the power of eternal flame. Very strong. Chen Shang took away a beast core, and was very pleasantly surprised, and then went to the trial town. Chen Shang, who had been missing for a long time, reappeared in the small town of trials. As before, when he came to the trial town, he went straight to the alchemy area and started alchemy. Everyone saw his beast core. There are 10 beast cores on the 3rd floor. How did he get it? The people in the lobby have never seen him hunt down beasts. How did he get the beast core? Although many people were suspicious, there was nothing to do, because if Chen Shang cheated, he would have been sent away. In fact, in the eyes of many disciples, even if there is a magical weapon or something, it is difficult for them to defeat the fierce orcs, unless they can improve their cultivation to the late feather fairy realm and cooperate with many people, they can win a fierce orc. Chen Shang used the eternal flame to make pills, and he made it very quickly. As before, he could produce 50 pills from 10 beast cores, then head to the teleportation area and enter the 4th floor. Chen Shang was the first to go to the next floor. He is just a person, always so fast, and he is not injured, and alchemy is so terrible. Who is this person? The 4th floor is a desert. Chen Shang stood on the desert and looked at the very blue sky. Compared with the 3rd floor, the environment here is very normal. There is no dangerous atmosphere, but it is very comfortable. Although he was in the desert, the wind was blowing very cool and the temperature was comfortable, and he didn't feel the slightest heat. In fact, this is because he has the eternal flame. If other people stood in the desert like him, they would have done it long ago. The wind felt by others will be very scorching hot, and if it is blown by this hot wind, it may spontaneously ignite. What is this layer? Chen Shang took out the jade card and looked for the nearby beasts. There are vicious beasts nearby. I don't know if they are strong or not. Chen Shang could only take a look first. If you are very strong, you have to start practicing again. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5009, 4-Layer Beast. Chen Shang was flying in the air, and he could feel the very comfortable wind blowing. For him, it was just a little warm and not too uncomfortable. There is a desert below him, and now the heat is rising. If it are others, it would have been a dog, but he did not notice the heat at all. Brother, will this 4th floor be normal? Sister Xiaojing said. If it's like the 1st floor or the 2nd floor, it's normal. Chen Shang said. In the 1st floor, the strongest are the beasts. Although the 2nd floor has space pearls, the strongest are those ferocious beasts. The 3rd floor is very abnormal, the fierce orcs are very strange, and then there are big fish and Vajra firemen. Chen Shang thought that the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda was abnormal one layer after another. Now the 4th floor looks like a blue sky and white clouds, but there must be something hidden. I don't know if the beasts here are strong or not. If they are not strong, we can quickly enter the 5th floor. Sister Xiaojing said. This broken tower has 18 floors, when will it be ahead? Chen Shang is flying towards the direction indicated by the jade card. There are beasts there. These jade cards are the time cultivators injected with some power, which can let them know the location of the beast in the trial town. Whether those beasts are strong or not, we will soon have the answer. Chen Shang could now sense that there were beasts in front of him, then he slowed down, began to hide, and concealed all his aura. However, after he flew over, he saw 2 young men fighting with each other very fiercely. Chen Shang took out the jade card and was secretly surprised, because the jade card reminded him that the beast was here. Then he contacted Da Lingshe and Da Tianyao and asked them if they could see the situation of the 4th layer beast. They can only see the trial town on the 4th floor now. Chen Shang understood. The 2 young people in front of him were most likely beasts that turned into humans. In the Shenzhen Xuanmo Tower, most of the time, you can't see the beasts, so there will be no pictures in the lobby. These 2 guys are very strong. Sister Xiaojing said. If they are both fierce beasts, it is really difficult to deal with. They look no different from humans. I can't even sense the aura of a vicious beast. Chen Shang was very puzzled. Ahu could also transform into a human before, but after he transformed into a human, there is still a clear aura of a beast. Brother, could it be said that these two guys are both very advanced human turning beasts? So you can't sense it, not even the Shenjiangshuan Demon Tower. Sister Xiaojing said. It seems Shenjiangshuan the changes in the magic tower are getting bigger and bigger, and even the time cultivator can't control it. The two young men were wearing the same clothes. Chen Shang observed carefully, the cyan clothes on their bodies looked very beautiful, and they would not be easily damaged during battle, indicating that they were made by a very clever method. They all have the same clothes, and it is very likely that they are a sect. When Chen Shang thought of this, he was even more shocked. All the beasts on the 4th floor developed and sent out. This is the 4th floor. Chen Shang watched the battle secretly. He found that if he fought hard, he could still beat one of those two young men. They still have divine tools. The divine power they unleashed is also very strong. Judging from their cultivation path, it seems to be the path of immortal cultivation. Chen Shang said in his heart, their flying swordsmanship is very good. Are these guys humans or beasts? When Chen Shang was watching the battle, he suddenly sensed that aura was flying at high speed, and someone was coming. The person who suddenly appeared was a beautiful woman in white clothes and white hair. The white clothes on her body were very gorgeous, and the style looked the same as the two men in blue clothes, indicating that they were all from the same sect. You almost got it. The woman in white snorted coldly. Hurry up and stop. There is something important. Elder He, what's the matter? After a man stopped, he looked at the other young man with an angry look. Elder He and I haven't decided the winner yet. I must compete with him today. Become the chief disciple of Ling Xianmen, said the other young man. There is a crisis coming. Your affairs have to be postponed. Elder He looked at the two disciples with a cold and beautiful oval face, and said, go back to Ling Xianmen immediately and call all the disciples back as much as possible. Elder He, what the **** is going on? Yes, tell us first. The two young people were very curious about this. Elder He looked into the distance and said, a new group of hunters are here. Being able to come here from the 3rd floor is a little bit of itself. Hunter, HMPH, that group of trash, I don't know how many we killed. A young man disagreed. Yeah, didn't there have been several groups of hunters before? They all disappeared in the end. They came to the 4th floor early, but they all hid in the end, and they didn't see any big waves. Another young man also responded to this very disdainful. Let's put it this way. The guys who came this time stayed on the 3rd floor for a short time, and then came to the 4th floor. Elder He said, it means that these guys are different from the past. Chen Shang, who was hiding in the dark, was secretly surprised. This elder crane actually knew that someone had entered the 4th floor, and he also knew that he did not stay on the 3rd floor for a long time. There have been many groups of people who have entered the 4th floor before. They should not be people from other worlds, but from other time and space worlds, but nothing has happened. Elder He, don't worry. Those guys die as many times as they come. They have just come from the 3rd floor to the 4th floor. They are as weak as chickens. The young man laughed and said, the prosperous dog I raised, you can easily kill him. You all go back immediately. Elder He snorted. I usually condone you too much, right? You dare to disobey my orders now? Seeing Elder He getting angry, the two young people were reluctant to leave. Elder He was still suspended in the air. After seeing the two young men flying away, she looked at the location where Chen Shang was hiding, and said coldly, Your Excellency has been hiding for so long, you can come out. Chen Shang frowned, he didn't expect to be discovered. Fairy Crane, long time no see. You've only changed a little from the past. You've become even more beautiful. Chen Shang appeared with a laugh, and flew over. We know each other. When did we meet? Elder He frowned and stared at Chen Shang, then began to recall. Chen Zhang's handsome face surprised her very much. She had never seen such a handsome man. She even sighed a few words in her heart, but Chen Shang said she had seen her. Back then, I just saw Fairy Crane from a distance. Chen Shang cupped his hands and said with a smile, I was just a teenager back then, and I always admired Fairy He. I didn't expect to have such a good relationship today, to be able to chat with Fairy He, and to see her peerless face up close, something I dreamed of back then. Now it's getting what you want. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5010, Domineering Crane Girl. Chen Shang was very calm, as if he was familiar with him, chatting and laughing with this Elder He. When Elder He heard Chen Zhang's words, he was a little stunned. There are indeed many people who pursued her, but no one has ever been so close to her to hide. She suspected that the person in front of her must have followed her to this place. What did you hear just now? She said coldly. Although Chen Shang looks very handsome, especially when he laughs, he looks like a spring breeze, he still looks comfortable, and there is a strange charm invisibly. This elder he did have a momentary heartbeat just now. However, she is still very vigilant. After all, she is also someone who has seen strong winds and waves, and it is absolutely impossible to be fooled by a handsome man with a few words. I heard you say that there are people from the 3rd floor entering the 4th floor, so the disciples are ready to deal with it. Chen Shang did not hide it, and said with a smile, Fairy Crane, is this an important secret? No, elder he said. Who are you? What sect do you come from? I have no family or faction. Chen Shang replied. At this moment, elder he suddenly flashed and came to Chen Shang in an instant, with a soft and elegant fragrance. Before Chen Shang could react, elder he grabbed his wrist. After elder he grabbed Chen Shang, his face changed suddenly, and then his eyes also flashed blue light, staring at Chen Shang from a close distance. Chen Shang could feel elder Yi's blue glowing beautiful eyes, which were emitting extremely strong heat. He was preparing to attack him. Wait, Chen Shang hurriedly shouted. You are not our kind, you are primitive. You are from the 3rd floor. Elder he said solemnly. You must die. Chen Shang really did not expect that this elder he was so powerful, grabbed his wrist and found out that he was not of the same kind, and immediately poured a strange divine power into his body, causing him to be unable to exert his strength. Even his soul was lost. Paralyzed. Sister he, wait, I'm a good person. Chen Shang had no choice but to shout immediately. I just came to the 4th floor, and then I encountered your 2 disciples fighting, and then you appeared. I did nothing. What about your companions? You are usually a team of 10 people. Even if there is damage on the front floor, there are at least several people. Elder Yi's eyes were brighter with blue light, as if he could shoot through Chen Zhang's head at any time. Chen Shang also didn't know what was going on with this elder he. That kind of divine power was really terrifying, and he didn't have the slightest aura of a beast at all. I don't have a partner, so I'm alone. Chen Zhang's eyes were very sincere, and his watery eyes almost burst into tears. Elder he gritted his teeth, because Chen Zhang's current appearance is too pitiful. She has never seen such a beautiful man, although he is not her kind, but in every way she is very moved. Especially when she thought that Chen Shang was not her kind, she even had an inexplicable impulse in her heart. After all, he was a man of a different race. Chen Shang could only see Elder Yi's blue glowing eyes, he couldn't see her eyes at all. He never thought that this domineering and powerful elder he would fall in love with him. However, Chen Shang looked at it with his bright eyes and found that elder Yi's killing intent gradually weakened. You can't be alone, otherwise, you won't be able to reach the 4th floor at all. You have just entered the 3rd floor, and you can come to the 4th floor not long after, which shows that your team is very strong. Elder he said again. Although she took a fancy to Chen Shang, she did not let her guard down. I'm really just a person. Chen Shang said with a wry smile. I'm still an alchemist. I get the beast's core by tricks. My strength is alchemy. This is how I can quickly go to the next layer advantage. What, are you an alchemist? Elder Yi's heart trembled again. In her eyes, alchemists were all dragons and phoenixes, and they were all unattainable existences. And this handsome man who looks like a little milk dog in front of him is actually an alchemist. Yes, Chen Shang nodded. Fairy Crane, don't kill me. I can help you refine pills. If you can help me concoct alchemy, I won't kill you. Besides, you have to stay by my side and are not allowed to leave my sight. The blue light of Elder Yi's eyes gradually weakened, and she withdrew that powerful divine power. She just confirmed that Chen Zhang's strength is far inferior to hers, and it is indeed from the 3rd floor, so she is also very relieved to let go of Chen Shang. After Chen Shang was let go by her, he breathed a sigh of relief. If he wanted to run away now, he could teleport away at any time. He saw that he was very useful to this elder he, so she would not kill him, and even take him with him. This allows Chen Shang to understand the situation on the 4th floor more quickly, and there is also a very powerful and beautiful bodyguard. Many thanks to Fairy Crane. Before Chen Shang, take the liberty to ask Fairy's name. Chen Shang smiled and seemed to have forgotten what he was about to be killed by the other party just now. Gong Bai He. After she finished speaking, she grabbed Chen Zhang's hand again, and clasped her fingers tightly, which made Chen Shang a little confused. Chen Shang is also a seasoned veteran after all, so suddenly Gong Baihe is holding hands with him, making him feel uncomfortable. What should I call you? Chen Shang could only smile politely, he actually didn't mind holding hands with Gong Baihe. In front of the disciples, call me Elder He. When no one is there, do whatever you want. Gong Baihe pulled Chen Shang to fly in the air. Chen Shang could feel a bit of an ambiguous aura, he was already very keenly aware that this Gong Baihe had a bad heart towards him. Sister He, where are we going? Chen Shang asked. I'm going to take you to a faraway place. That's my very private residence. Gong Baihe said, you want to help me make alchemy there. If you can't make it, then you're deceiving me. I won't allow it, others lie to me, especially men. Sister He, I will never lie to you. Chen Shang said quickly. Okay, do you have a woman? When Gong Baihe was flying, he turned to look at Chen Shang, his eyes as if he wanted to kill someone. Chen Shang also realized that this is the proposition of sending. He took a deep breath and said, yes. How many? Gong Baihe suddenly grasped Chen Zhang's hand, and he could clearly feel that her mood was changing. It's hard to say, there are quite a few. Chen Shang didn't hide it, because he could see that Gong Baihe would not kill him. Humph. Gong Baihe hummed with a variety of complicated emotions. Chen Shang also couldn't understand why this Gong Baihe would like him. It seems to be a feeling of love at a glance. He knows that he is handsome, and that his handsome face has a kind of charm, but most of the time it is useless to women. Especially in this environment where strength is respected, there is no absolute strength, no matter how good looking it is useless because it will turn into a pile of fly ash at any time. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5011, Secret Cave. Chen Shang came to the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda and didn't want to flirt with his sister. When he met the Longmen disciples before, there was a beautiful senior sister, but he had no idea at all. Now he just wants to hurry up and go to a higher floor, he never thought that he would be entangled by the beasts in the tower. Sister He, how long have you been on the 4th floor? Did you come up from the floor below? Chen Shang asked. No, I came down from the 5th floor. Gong Baihe said. I was beaten down. You don't think I am strong, but I am very weak on the 5th floor. Ah, you were born on the 5th floor? Chen Shang asked. He didn't expect Gong Baihe to be so straightforward and would tell him such a thing. Forget it, I also seized a rare opportunity to run to the 4th floor. If I continued to stay on the 5th floor, I would have already died. Gong Baihe said. Then have you been to the 3rd floor? Chen Shang asked again. I haven't been there, and I don't know about the 3rd floor. I only know that not long ago, the space on the 3rd floor fluctuated, indicating that someone entered the 3rd floor. Then just now, the space on the 4th floor fluctuated. Gong Baihe said. It should be you who entered the 4th floor, right? Well, to tell you the truth, I was the first to enter the 2nd floor, and also the first to enter the 3rd and 4th floors. Chen Shang said. I am all by myself from start to finish. Although Ahu also followed him, Ahu is indeed not a real person. Really? Gong Baihe frowned, a little unable to believe it. Chen Shang looked at Gong Baihe's long white hair, couldn't help but reached out and touched it, and she gave her a light glance. Sister He, I'm going to the 5th floor soon. Chen Shang said. I can't stay on the 4th floor for too long. What nonsense are you talking about? Gong Baihe, who was flying, suddenly stopped, and then looked at Chen Shang with the eyes of an idiot, and at the same time clenched Chen Zhang's hand. I'm going to the 5th floor soon. Chen Shang said seriously. Idiot, you only came to the 4th floor, and you want to go to the 5th floor. Didn't I just say that even me, I can't get along on the 5th floor? Why do you? Gong Baihe sneered. I still yes, what do you take to the 5th floor? You need at least 100 beast cores. Sister He, are you invincible on this floor? Chen Shang asked. You want me to help you kill the beasts? No way. Gong Baihe snorted and said, on the 4th floor, I can only be considered relatively strong. There are still many powerful beasts above me. Beasts are different from other floors, you must have a vicious beast with a certain level of cultivation, and you have a vicious beast core in your body. Do you have it? Chen Shang asked. Nonsense, of course I have. Gong Baihe said, however, my beast core is very small. A small beast core like me needs 2 to make a beast pill. After finishing speaking, she continued to pull Chen Shang to fly over the desert. Sister He, have you been on the 4th floor for many years? You haven't improved much, Chen Shang said. Yes, I haven't improved much. But at least I'm still alive. Gong Baihe said. If you don't improve any more, you will grow old. Chen Shang said. At that time, your beautiful appearance will no longer be able to be maintained, and your body will also wither and grow old. Stop talking. Gong Baihe snorted softly, and squeezed Chen Zhang's hand tightly. You were born on the 5th floor. You need the power of the 5th floor to grow. Chen Shang said. You can't improve quickly if you don't return to the 5th floor. Don't say these stupid things. I'd rather die than go to the 5th floor. You'd better find a way to get out of this ghost place and don't go to the 5th floor. Gong Baihe said. You stupid primitive people, always thinking of going to the next level, but I don't know that going up is killing me. You don't know me. Chen Shang smiled and said. When I was on the 1st floor, it was difficult to go to the 2nd floor. In fact, every time I went to the next floor, it was just as difficult. It was heavy, but I managed to go to the next floor in the end. Gong Baihe didn't speak anymore. She also knew that it was not easy for Chen Shang to come here from the 3rd floor, but she didn't believe that Chen Shang could improve on this floor. After flying for a long time, Gong Baihe brought Chen Shang to her secret residence, which was also in the desert. The 4th floor is all desert, with no flowers, trees, or water. Gong Baihe's so-called secret residence is a large rocky mountain in the desert, and then he found a relatively large cave and built a cave in it. When Chen Shang came into the cave, he was also very surprised, because the inside was really exquisite, made of a solid white stone, like a beautiful white jade. This is my secret residence. Apart from me, only you know. Gong Baihe said, there is a very spacious stone room over there, where you can make alchemy. Sister He, aren't you going back to Lingxianmen? Chen Shang asked. I will go back, and I will take you back when the time comes. Gong Baihe said, you first refine a beast pill and give it to me. After she finished speaking, she entered a stone room, then took out 2 animal cores and handed them to Chen Shang. The beast cores I got are all placed in this cave. There are more than 20 in total, and they are all small. Gong Baihe looked directly into Chen Zhang's eyes. Are you trying to steal it? Don't want to. Chen Shang looked at Gong Baihe's beautiful jade-like oval face, and said with a smile, this is all the hard work of Sister He over the years, I don't have that kind of thought. By the way, there is no pill stove here. Do you have one yourself? Gong Baihe suddenly thought of this question. I don't need a pill stove. Chen Shang said. If there is a pill stove, of course it would be better. Gong Baihe thought it was very strange. How can you concoct pills without a pill furnace? These beasts are also learning to explore the art of alchemy, and indeed some of the beasts have extraordinary talents, and they can really do it, but they are not so good. Chen Shang took the 2 beast cores and looked at them. They were indeed very small, only the size of peanuts. However, the energy contained in this kind of beast core is also very strong. It has been concentrated and refined to condense into such a small beast core. Chen Shang entered that spacious secret room. The walls were covered with white jade, bright and spacious. Do I need to avoid it? Gong Baihe asked. Have you seen anyone else concoct pills before? Chen Shang asked. I've seen it before. It's all about transforming human beasts to make pills. The process is very boring. I can't understand anything. Gong Baihe said. That guy's pill furnace is made from the skull of a beast. You should also need a pill furnace, right? Chen Shang suspected that Gong Baihe had never seen a real pill furnace. He felt that the beasts on the 4th and 5th floors had existed for many years, and had learned many things from humans, so he began to learn. For example, create a sect, start alchemy, and comprehend various immortal methods. Sister He, just watch it. Chen Shang smiled and said, your beast pill will be refined soon. How fast? Will it take 3 or 5 years? Gong Baihe asked. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5012, 9 Treasures of God. 3 or 5 years? Chen Shang asked with a puzzled face. For you, is it fast or slow to refine a beast pill in 3 or 5 years? Quick. It takes at least 10 or 8 years for our alchemist to refine a single beast pill. Gong Baihe said. If you can refine it in 3 to 5 years, then I will declare you the fastest on the 4th floor. Alchemist. Ha ha ha. Chen Shang couldn't help laughing. What are you laughing at? Gong Baihe was also full of doubts. She didn't know why Chen Shang was laughing. She frowned and said, aren't you an alchemist? Are you kidding me? Of course I'm an alchemist. Chen Shang said with a smile. It's a joke to me to make a beast pill in 3 or 5 years. I don't understand. Gong Baihe really didn't understand, because she had never seen a high-level alchemist. Chen Shang can also understand. After all, the fourth floor is full of beasts that transform into human beings, and they can't get along with humans peacefully, so naturally they can't learn the serious alchemy techniques, and their understanding of alchemy is still very ignorant. Let's put it this way, I don't need 3 or 5 years to refine a single beast pill. Chen Shang he said with a smile, I'm fast in refining pills now. Unless I go to refine something big, it won't take 3 to 5 years at all. Quote. Really? Gong Baihe was shocked because she couldn't imagine how quickly Chen Shang concocted pills. In her cognition, refining a beast pill in 10 or 8 years is considered excellent, so over the years, she has had a very stereotyped impression of refining beast pills, believing that no matter what kind of alchemist, they must refine it. 10 years and 8 years. Sister He, just watch it. If it were someone else, Chen Shang would definitely mock him for being a frog in a well. But Gong Baihe in front of her is really stupid and sweet, and she doesn't know anything about alchemy. Besides, Chen Shang in front of her is a world-beating alchemy god. Looking at 2 different heavens, he is definitely the top level. If someone in the world-defying universe asked Chen Shang if he knew the way of alchemy, he would answer, I am the way of alchemy. There is only one small beast core here. It takes 2 to make the beast pill. When you are halfway through, I will give you a second beast core. Gong Baihe said. No need, this beast core is enough. Chen Shang waved his hand. In his opinion, this beast core is very normal, although it looks small, the energy inside is refined. You really don't need a pill stove? Gong Baihe asked when he saw Chen Shang sitting cross-legged on the ground. Chen Shang took a deep breath, and then released 9 space pearls from the storage artifact. The space pearls contacted each other to form a circle, and then Chen Shang put the beast core inside the circle. What is this? It seems to have a strong spatial power. Gong Baihe was slightly surprised. At the same time, she was also attracted by the very beautiful pearl. She still likes this kind of big pearl. This is my precious pearl. Chen Shang smiled, and then released the magic furnace to wrap the beast core. Chen Shang used space pearls to refine a lot of things before, so if you use it with the magic furnace, even if you don't have a pill furnace, you can overcome many problems. This is his best alternative when he can't use the world-defying furnace. If he uses the world-defying furnace in the future, he can also use the space pearl to cooperate with it. The magic furnace was opened, and Chen Shang released the flame. The flame is golden red, and it is the eternal flame released by the eternal flame fate that he has just cultivated. Eternal flame, combined with the space divine power released by the space fate, plus the 9 treasures divine sky formation composed of 9 space pearls, Chen Shang wants to refine 4 layers of beast cores, which is just a piece of cake for him. This is where Chen Zhang's alchemy technique is brilliant. Through the technique of alchemy, he can always use various energies to make him create the best conditions for alchemy. Next to Gong Baihe, I saw the magic furnace. It was originally transparent, but after being injected with eternal flames, the transparent magic furnace is outlined by flames, and it seems to be a crystal furnace that emits golden red light. The eternal flame is very domineering. If it is not isolated by the 9 treasures divine air array, this place will definitely not be able to stop it, and the whole mountain will soon melt. Although the eternal flame was isolated, Gong Baihe could still sense a flame that frightened her. Sister He, if you feel very hot, back away. Chen Shang said. Gong Baihe nodded, took a few steps back, and kept his distance from the magic furnace. She no longer doubts Chen Shang at this moment, she has never encountered such a flame. Chen Zhang's alchemy speed is indeed superb. Gong Baihe saw with his own eyes that the animal core inside the magic furnace gradually changed a lot, was melted, reorganized and aggregated, and then split into a few clumps. That's right, Chen Shang intends to refine several grains in one furnace. He has done this before, and he has never missed it. Especially now with the help of the 9 treasures divine air array, it is even more impossible to fail. Soon, Chen Shang divided the refined beast core energy into 5 groups, and then condensed the pills separately. In this process, he used the power of the 9 treasures divine air formation, otherwise it would be difficult to complete. If he uses the pill furnace in the trial town, he will not be so easy. Gradually, the 5 beast pills condensed successfully and floated inside the magic furnace. Gong Baihe took a deep breath and looked at the 5 beast pills in disbelief. Is this really a beast pill? Gong Baihe didn't believe it. Chen Shang waved his hand and put away the magic furnace. The breath of the beast pill spreads all around. Gong Baihe shuddered. This was indeed the breath of the beast pill, and it was better than the beast pill she had come across before. She can directly judge that the 5 beast pills in front of her have strong power, which is enough to show that the beast pills refined by Chen Shang are much higher than what she has seen before. Sister He, here it is. Chen Shang controlled the beast pill and said, try to see if it's a real beast pill. Gong Baihe was stunned, speechless. As I said before, I want to enter the next floor as soon as possible. Chen Shang stood up, collected 9 space pearls, and continued, so I hope Sister He will not force me to stay. Because I am doing a very important job. Matter. Chen Shang just wanted to go to the end quickly, and leave the Immortal War Profound Demon Tower and return to the world-defying universe. He was worried that the arrogant universe would be messed with by the time cultivator. You must know that the arrogant universe is now a rare pure land. I won't stop you from going to the 5th floor. Gong Baihe looked at the 5 beast pills in her hand. She now finally understood why Chen Shang was always the first to enter the next floor with his own strength. Sister He, before I leave the 4th floor, I will help you refine some beast pills. Chen Shang said. So during this time, you'd better get me some more beast cores. Gong Baihe, who was still domineering before, is also a little domineering at this moment, because in front of a superb alchemist like Chen Shang, her aura naturally subsided. I'll take out all the beast pills. Gong Baihe said, it should be enough for you to enter the next floor. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 5013, White Crane Breakthrough. Chen Shang hasn't figured out the situation of the 4th floor yet, and he also knows that Gong Baihe is not the strongest group on the 4th floor. However, with Chen Zhang's current strength, he has no power to fight back against Gong Baihe. If he goes to the 5th floor, it will be very dangerous. Sister He, although I have to rush to the 5th floor, I will still stay on the 4th floor for a while. Chen Shang said. I also want to improve myself, otherwise, if I go to the next floor, I will die no matter what. Do not know. Yeah, Gong Baihe handed Chen Shang a box and said, this is all my beast cores. Chen Shang opened it and saw that there were 30, some of which looked rather dim, indicating that Gong Baihe had been collecting them for some time. I'll start right now. After Chen Shang took it over, he immediately released the 9 treasures divine air formation and the magical treasure furnace, and immediately started alchemy. Gong Baihe watched from the side, very excited, because with these beast pills, she would be able to break through and become stronger faster. At that time, his strength will definitely be higher. Chen Shang, for these 30 beast cores, I should have given you 10 as a reward. Gong Baihe said, but I think, if you don't want these 10 beast cores, all of them can be made into beast pills for me to eat and refine. It can make me break through. If you make a breakthrough, how is your strength? Chen Shang asked. I can get the beast core faster. Gong Baihe said, she now understands why Chen Shang is not strong, why he can always go to the next floor faster. Because he can trade benefits with the powerhouses through alchemy, so that he can get help from the powerhouses. Okay, I trust you. Without even thinking about it, Chen Shang promised Gong Baihe that he would not receive any payment for the time being. Chen Zhang's heart blossomed with joy, because this domineering, cold and arrogant beauty had already fallen into his trap. That's right, Chen Shang started his old method again, developing Gong Baihe into a tool man step by step, and it was Gong Baihe himself who took the initiative to become a tool man. Therefore, Chen Shang is also working very hard at this time in alchemy. If it goes well, Gong Baihe, who was unwilling to go to the 5th floor before, might take the initiative to follow him to the 5th floor. Gong Baihe understands the 5th floor, has a certain strength, and is still a great beauty. Naturally, Chen Shang is very willing to follow her. Gong Baihe didn't know Chen Zhang's careful thoughts. Although she was an elder, although she had lived for many years, and although she was usually domineering and strong, she had never encountered such an old man as Chen Shang. In front of Chen Shang, Gong Baihe was simply an innocent girl. Chen Shang saw how excited she was now, and he had already succeeded in grasping Gong Baihe. Chen Shang, I think there should be some kind of balance in this world. Gong Baihe said suddenly. Oh, Chen Shang didn't quite understand what she was going to say. Your alchemy technique is too high. You should also pay a certain price. Gong Baihe said. This is the only way to balance it. There is a price to pay. Chen Shang thought for a while, and said, for example, I am now separated from my relatives and friends, suffering from longing. Chen Shang is also telling the truth. Gong Baihe didn't speak anymore. She still felt a little guilty because she felt that she touched the pain in Chen Zhang's heart. Chen Shang continued to quietly concoct pills. Sister He, do you have an enemy on the 4th floor? Chen Shang suddenly thought of a question and asked. Yes, a lot, Gong Baihe said, but don't worry, my secret residence is very safe. Then I can rest assured. Chen Shang nodded, but also secretly guarded. Gong Baihe sat on the ground and quietly watched Chen Shang concoct pills. Chen Shang seemed to be quietly concocting pills, but in fact he was secretly communicating with Sister Xiaojing. Brother, that woman is interested in you. Sister Xiaojing giggled. Take her. What are you talking about? She is not an ordinary woman. Chen Shang said. She is a beast turned into a human. Brother, she has very little vicious beast aura. I don't know how she cultivated. Anyway, I don't think she will become a vicious beast. This kind of cultivation method can make her stronger and stronger. Sister Xiaojing said. Really, is there such a thing? Chen Shang recalled the previous Ahu, who often turned into a vicious beast. Get her in your hands. Anyway, you are a big radish, and you don't have much more of her. Sister Xiaojing said with a wicked smile. You haven't brought back a few women for so many years. Sister Menger and the others said I might even suspect that you are not Chen Shang, thinking that you have been taken away. Girl Jing, I want to be a good person now. Chen Shang pouted. This little girl always encouraged him to do bad things, and became more and more skinny. 30 beast cores were refined into 150 beast pills by Chen Shang in just 3 days. Looking at a box of beast pills, Gong Baihe seemed to be dreaming. She has not been able to break through and become stronger for many years, just because she does not have a beast pill. Sister He, it is reasonable to say that you have been on the 4th floor for so many years, and you should have absorbed a lot of beast cores. Chen Shang said. Then you should become stronger. No, directly absorbing the beast core can only supplement the consumption. Gong Baihe shook his head and said, the energy inside the beast core has a strong repulsive force, I can only absorb a little bit, and the rest will be lost. So it is. Chen Shang nodded and said, if it is made into a pill, it can be completely absorbed by eating it directly. Yes. Gong Baihe was very excited at the moment, and his breathing began to become a little short. The pile of beast pills in front of her means that she will break through the bottleneck for many years. As long as she successfully breaks through, she even has the idea of AA returning to the 5th floor, and it is very strong. What's more, she didn't want to leave Chen Shang. Because Chen Shang can make her stronger. Chen Zhang's attraction to Gong Baihe in the past was his appearance, and now, coupled with his alchemy technique, he showed infinite charm and deeply attracted Gong Baihe. I want to eat it, and then refine it. Gong Baihe said, I need a little time, can you wait for me? Yes, Chen Shang said. I'll watch from the side, okay. Yes, Gong Baihe nodded and sat down immediately. This was originally a secret room for practice. Gong Baihe used to practice here often, so he will soon be able to enter the state. Chen Shang looked at Gong Baihe, thinking about the next plan. He wants the 4th floor to stay for a while, at least to understand the hidden changes of the 4th floor. The 2nd and 3rd layers have hidden changes. The 2nd layer is the Space Pearl, and the 3rd layer is the Eternal Flame Fire Crystal and Eternal Flame Divine Pill produced by the Giant Fish Beast and the Vajra Fireman. This 4th floor must have hidden changes. Chen Shang wants to cultivate his own destiny through these changes, which can make him quickly gain powerful strength. Gong Baihe ate dozens of beast pills in one breath. Chen Shang thought it was nothing at first, but now he regrets it a little. He shouldn't let Gong Baihe eat so much. Because after Gong Baihe entered the state of cultivation, he has completely lost control, and the movement is getting bigger and bigger. It's a big trouble. Chen Shang was very anxious, because the whole mountain was shaking, and it would collapse at any time. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5014, Special Status. With Gong Baihe's current state, if the mountain collapses, it should not be affected much. The reason why Chen Shang was anxious was because he didn't want Gong Baihe to cultivate in the collapsed ruins. Brother, she is in the breakthrough stage, so it's really not good to disturb her. If it stops, it will have some impact. Sister Xiaojing said. Just let her go. Chen Shang thought about it. He could only release an energy shield to protect himself and Gong Baihe. Boom boom boom. As Gong Baihe continued to practice, the shock wave released became stronger and stronger, breaking through Chen Zhang's shield and shaking the entire giant mountain. Finally, the giant mountain collapsed, and Chen Shang and Gong Baihe were also covered up by the collapsed boulder. Gong Baihe is still cultivating and has not been affected, and in the process of absorbing the refining beast pill, she always releases extremely strong energy. Chen Shang didn't expect that this kind of human-turning beast would make such a big noise when it was cultivating. It's better for me to stay away. Chen Shang was beside Gong Baihe. He was also hit by a certain amount of energy and felt very uncomfortable. He made a space jump, ran out of the collapsed mountain, and looked down in the air. Gong Baihe is still absorbing the beast pill. She should know the situation outside, but because she has entered a special state, she cannot get out of that state. Chen Shang waited for a long time. Gong Baihe finally woke up. She ate the rest of the beast pill, and then continued to practice. This time, you should be able to break through the bottleneck and enter a higher realm. Chen Shang didn't expect those beast pills to have such an effect, which could make Gong Baihe break through the bottleneck quickly. Brother, after she becomes stronger, she can take you everywhere to kill beasts. Sister Xiaojing said with a smile. But, if she wants to run away, there is nothing you can do. Yes, Chen Shang and Gong Baihe did not sign any contract. After Gong Baihe broke through, he could run away at any time. Hearing what Sister Xiaojing said, Chen Shang was somewhat anxious. If Gong Baihe really ran away, then he would be busy working for nothing. She shouldn't be able to run. I use my heart to see her. She is very trustworthy. Chen Shang said. She is a smart person. She knows very well what kind of value I have as an alchemist. Chen Shang is very confident about this, because Gong Baihe has been unable to break through for many years, but now with his help, he can quickly break through. If she is with Chen Shang, as long as she can get the beast core and give it to Chen Shang, she will be able to get the beast pill immediately. For her, this is of great benefit. As long as she is not stupid, she will not give up this opportunity. Gong Baihe had eaten a lot of beast pills just now, but fortunately, Chen Shang made them into very small pellets, and she could refine them one by one, otherwise the movement would be even bigger. I'm afraid it will take several days. Chen Shang looked around and said, what I'm worried about now is whether her movement will attract other beasts. Although Gong Baihe said that the cave where he is located is a very secret place, but this kind of movement lasts for a long time, and it is easy to be discovered. What is Chen Shang worried about? He quickly sensed that there were two powerful auras that were galloping towards this side. Chen Shang immediately hides. Gong Baihe's own strength is very strong. Before Chen Shang has figured out the situation, there is no need for him to rush ahead. Not long after Chen Shang hid, he saw two middle-aged people flying over and floating in the air. They all wear golden robes. The style of this dress is very similar to Gong Baihe's. Chen Shang suddenly felt a lot more relieved, because this was the same style of clothing from Lingxianmen, indicating that the two middle-aged people were most likely the elders of Lingxianmen. This is the breath of Elder He. A middle-aged man looked at the collapsed mountain below with a sinister smile. This ***** Mother Crane actually chose such a place to break through. The other middle-aged man laughed loudly. She is in a critical breakthrough state right now, it's really not prudent. Chen Shang heard their conversation, and his heart squeaked. Although these two middle-aged elders were both elders of Lingxianmen, they had always had bad intentions towards Gong Baihe. She has been trapped in this realm for so many years. Now she finally has a chance to break through, and she is anxious. She can only choose a random place. The tall middle-aged man smiled and said, that's good, it's cheaper for us. Quote, Elder Ying, which one of us will go first? The other middle-aged man with a short stature smiled slyly. Elder Rat, we can't enjoy such a beautiful woman alone. We should call Big Brother Wolf. The Elder Eagle laughed. Chen Shang guessed that the Eagle Elder should be an eagle beast, and the Rat Elder was a rat-type beast. I'm afraid that Big Brother Wolf will come and the little girl Crane will complete the breakthrough. It will be difficult to do it then. Elder Mouse seemed very anxious and said, Big Brother Wolf should not mind that we go first. Chen Shang frowned, because judging from the conversation, they seemed to be forcibly doing something wrong to Gong Baihe. The current state of this little girl Crane is in a state of semi-sleeping. Her soul and body are completely separated, and her soul cannot control her body. Her soul knows that we are moving, but her body cannot resist. Elder Rat continued with a sinister smile, this but in the best state. It's so good. After she breaks through this time, she's completely transformed into a human. Both her body and soul will be improved. It will also far surpass us. Elder Ying nodded and said, at that time, only Brother Wolf will be her opponent. So let's go first, and then eat her. Don't tell Big Brother Wolf about this. Elder Rat said, Big Brother Wolf is already so strong, we don't need to think too much about him, we have to do it for ourselves. Think about it. Obviously, if they eat Gong Baihe, they can become stronger. Okay, you go first. Elder Ying said. Okay. Elder Rat smiled wryly, and then swooped down from the air. Chen Shang also flew over immediately, he was still invisible. He thought before that, even if Gong Baihe entered that state of cultivation, he should be able to wake up if there was any urgent matter. From the conversation between the two wretched people, Chen Shang learned that Gong Baihe's soul could not control his body. After Elder Mouse flew over, he didn't know what method he used, and he emptied the collapsed mountain at once, revealing a light group. Gong Baihe is practicing in the light group. Little Crane, your brother Mouse is here. Elder Mouse said with a wretched smile, he had already landed beside the white light. Chen Shang can't wait to kill this rat elder, but his current strength is not enough. I don't know how long it will take for Sister Crane to break through. I can barely delay it. Chen Shang took a deep breath, and then he could only do his best. Elder Mouse walked towards the white light group, and then reached out to stab into the light group to touch Gong Baihe. At this moment, 9 large pearls suddenly appeared around the white light group. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5015, Eagle Chase. Chen Shang released 9 space pearls, which landed outside the light group where Gong Baihe was, and surrounded her to form the 9 treasures divine sky formation. Walk. Under the control of Chen Shang, he activated the 9 treasures divine sky formation, and led Gong Baihe to jump in space, teleported to a distance, and came to a desert. At the same time, Chen Shang also controlled the 9 treasures divine sky formation to form a shield, covering the light group where Gong Baihe was located. Even so, the energy released by Gong Baihe at this moment can actually penetrate a trace of it. If his perception is strong enough, he can still find her. In desperation, Chen Shang could only release the pearl oysters, and then transfer Gong Baihe inside. Sister Crane, I can only do this for the time being. There may be several transfers in the future, I hope it won't affect you. Chen Shang said beside him. The light group trembled, and it seemed that Gong Baihe was responding to him. Chen Shang had tried to communicate with Gong Baihe, but it was not successful. It can be seen that the breakthrough state she is in is very strange. Chen Shang now also knows where the mutation of the 4th floor is, it should be these beasts. After the transformation of the human beast, the 4th floor could not be seen in the lobby at all. What's more, the beast that turned into a human really turned into a human, and it couldn't be turned back into a beast again. It is precisely because they became humans that they acquired some kind of special divine power, which gave them a powerful power, far exceeding that of beasts. Chen Shang wants to understand the characteristics of that kind of divine power. Fortunately, Gong Baihe is about to break through to that stage now, and he will be able to figure it out at that time. What happened just now? Elder Mouse was stunned, and when he was excited, a basin of cold water was poured over him. Someone helped her run away. Elder Ying looked into the distance and said, there is a very faint breath over there, let's hurry over there. Elder Rat closed his eyes, and after sensing it, he turned into a black shadow and flew over there. Elder Ying also followed. Inside the pearl shell, Chen Shang sensed the surrounding spatial fluctuations through the 9 treasures divine air formation. Within the range of his perception, something was suddenly moving at high speed. Coming, Chen Shang immediately controlled the pearl shell, moved the space, and jumped into the distance. Now, he can only avoid those 2 guys and avoid Pearl Oyster being attacked. Although the Pearl Oyster can withstand a certain degree of attack, it will also be damaged, and Chen Shang still doesn't know the strength of the opponent. Not long after Chen Shang ran away, those 2 guys chased after him again. They really don't give up. Chen Shang looked at the white light group where Gong Baihe was, and then made a long-distance space jump again, and he jumped several times in a row. Brother, the beasts here are all very strong, and I don't know how they got here. Sister Xiaojing said, you have to help Sister He to buy more time. I'm going to use the 9 treasures divine space formation now to change the flow of time. Chen Shang used it before, which required him to use the space fate to cooperate, and the consumption was quite large. If Chen Shang cultivated the time destiny, it would be very easy to control the flow of time in a small area. Elder Rat and Elder Ying followed the traces of remnants of aura, always looking for them. Elder Eagle, Gong Baihe needs at least 10 days to complete the breakthrough. Elder Mouse said, we still have plenty of time. What kind of guy is helping her? To be able to take her to space jump, this kind of strength should be very strong, but it didn't face us. Said Elder Ying. That guy sensed the space to find us approaching. We have to hide. Elder Mouse said, Elder Eagle, you should be able to do it, right? Of course I can. Elder Ying said. Using divine power to affect space, as long as it is well controlled, it can fluctuate space and make our interference hidden in space. Not bad. After Elder Mouse finished speaking, faint spatial ripples appeared around his body. Elder Eagle can do it too, so they are hidden in space. This was something Chen Shang didn't expect, so he waited for a long time, but he didn't notice any movement within his spatial perception range. In just 2 hours, Elder Eagle and Elder Mouse saw that huge pearl oyster. What is this? Elder Rat exclaimed. This seems to be the Space King on the 2nd floor. Elder Ying frowned and said, what's going on? How can something on the 2nd floor appear on the 10th floor? Or, someone took this thing from the 2nd floor. Brought it. They are still hidden now. Go in first and talk about it. Said the Elder Rat, I can't wait. Elder Rat took a deep breath, and then condensed a mass of purple-black divine power, which looked like a purple-black crystal, and that divine power actually turned into a crystal. Call. The Elder Rat shot out the half-human high purple-black energy, and hit the pearl oyster in the blink of an eye. Boom. The pearl oyster was directly blasted out a huge gap. So strong. Chen Shang was frightened in his heart, and immediately controlled pearl oyster to jump in space. Because he knew that Chen Shang could use his space power to jump, Elder Ying had already made preparations, and he swirled in the air, releasing his divine power to stir up the space, causing tyrannical space chaos around him, making Chen Shang unable to jump. Damn, Chen Shang was secretly shocked. This layer of human turning beasts was more powerful than he had imagined. He actually mastered many brilliant divine arts, and used divine power very cleverly. If you give them enough time, they will definitely evolve stronger. Elder Ying was responsible for disturbing the space and preventing Chen Shang from escaping, while Elder Mouse continued to attack the pearl oyster to completely smash the pearl oyster. Elder Mouse grinned madly while bombarding pearl oysters. In his opinion, Gong Baihe would definitely fall into his hands today. The monkey is anxious to eat the Elder Rat of Gong Baihe, and the attack is getting more and more manic and stronger. In just a moment, the pearl oysters were blasted to shreds. Chen Shang relied on his own space destiny power and the shield formed by the 9 treasures divine sky formation to protect Gong Baihe, and he is now struggling to support it. Whether it's Elder Eagle or Elder Mouse, he can't beat him. Unless he can use the divine mirror of 6 paths, he will have to work hard to delay for a while. Oh, the guy who protects the little girl, he is actually such a handsome guy. Elder Mouse laughed. I didn't expect that the little girl, he was arrogant and dignified on weekdays, but she keeps a little white face in private. While talking and laughing, Elder Rat came to Chen Shang. Yes, with such control over the space, it's no wonder that he was attracted by the little girl. The Elder Rat smiled slyly. I'll let you see how this Uncle Rat tamed the little girl. Ha ha ha. At this moment, a golden crack suddenly appeared in the white light group where Gong Baihe was. Gong Baihe successfully broke through. Seeing this scene, Elder Rat's face changed greatly. And the Eagle Elder in the air, without saying a word, immediately fled. The white light group exploded instantly, and the golden light flashed all around. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 5016, The Way of Humanization. When Elder Mouse saw Gong Baihe coming out, his soul was frightened away. He and Elder Ying thought that Gong Baihe would take many days to break through, and it was impossible to come out in such a short time. That is because Chen Shang controlled the flow of time and gained a lot of time, so Gong Baihe was able to complete his breakthrough so early. Gong Baihe, like the white-haired female killing goddess, rushed out to the Elder Rat. His hands were like a pair of snow-white crane claws, and at the same time he grabbed the Elder Rat, he burst out with cold energy. Elder Mouse dodged again and again, but was still caught by Gong Baihe, and several pieces of his body were caught. Chen Shang watched from a distance, and was secretly afraid of Gong Baihe's power. This is Gong Baihe after breaking through his own realm. The power of the 5th layer of beasts. The speed of the Elder Rat was very fast, but he could not dodge in front of Gong Baihe. While fleeing in a panic, he was chased by Gong Baihe and attacked frantically, and his arms were clawed down. It didn't take long for the beast core in Elder Rat's body to be caught by Gong Baihe, and the whole person fell to the ground half dead. Gong Baihe stepped on his head and said coldly, "Elder Rat, I have never offended you. But if you want to destroy me, don't blame me for being cruel. Elder He, I was wrong. Since we are all elders of Lingxianmen, please spare my life." Elder Mouse begged bitterly. "Hey, die for me." Gong Baihe stepped on it vigorously, and the golden white flashed out from under his feet, and Elder Rat's whole body burst into pieces in an instant. Elder Rat is dead and vulnerable in front of Gong Baihe. The Eagle Elder had already run away. Gong Baihe looked at the direction he fled, and then looked at Chen Shang. "I want to chase that guy." Gong Baihe said, "Are you coming?" "Let's go." Chen Shang nodded. Gong Baihe turned into a white light, shot from the ground to the sky, and then flew in one direction like a white meteor. Chen Shang could only use space jump to keep up with Gong Baihe. He was actually a little worried about Gong Baihe. Because in the conversation between Elder Eagle and Elder Mouse, they also had a big brother wolf. Chen Shang followed behind Gong Baihe and asked, "Sister He, what other big brother wolf do they have? Do you know this guy?" "No, it used to be, and then left Lingxianmen. I also had some conflicts with him." Gong Baihe said. "How's your strength?" Chen Shang asked. "It's very strong, but I'm not afraid of him now." After Gong Baihe made his breakthrough, he was full of confidence. Chen Shang felt that she had just broken through, so she should be more stable. Elder Ying was flying in the air and was already flying desperately, but Gong Baihe was so fast that he quickly caught up. Before Chen Shang, he thought about using space jumping to catch up with Gong Baihe, but he didn't expect that Gong Baihe would be able to catch up with his own flying speed. After Gong Baihe saw the target of Elder Ying, his speed could explode even faster in an instant. Like a bolt of lightning, he shot it in an instant and smashed Elder Ying from the sky to the ground with one punch. Elder Ying was hit hard by Gong Baihe with his powerful divine power, and fell from a high altitude on the desert, setting off a sandstorm. Gong Baihe then fell from the sky, like a white meteor falling to the ground with an electric glow. Elder Eagle's body was bombarded by lightning bolts. That was Gong Baihe descending from the sky and stepping on it. With a loud bang and a bright golden light burst out, Chen Shang knew that Elder Ying was gone. Chen Shang was suspended in the air, there was flying sand everywhere. Gong Baihe had already flown up from below. "These are two beast nuclei. Those two guys." Gong Baihe handed it to Chen Shang, and he didn't look small. "She is still very trustworthy." She promised Chen Shang before that after breaking through, she would take Chen Shang to kill the beast and give him all the beast cores she obtained. Chen Shang and Sister Xiaojing were very worried that she would walk away, and they were relieved to see her offering the beast core like this. "Sister He, you are in a good state now." Chen Shang said with a smile. "You were very afraid to go to the 5th floor before, what about now?" The reason why Gong Baihe was afraid to enter the 5th floor before was because she couldn't break through. She had done a lot of efforts over the years, but she had not broken through the bottleneck, so she was also very desperate. Now that she has broken through and her strength has become so much stronger, she has to replan her future path. If she continues to stay on the 4th floor, it will be difficult for her to break through, and she must have the resources of the 5th floor. Although the 5th floor is very dangerous, as long as she reaches the 5th floor, she has a great hope of breaking through, provided that Chen Shang wants to help her concoct pills by her side. "Can I follow you to the 5th floor?" Gong Baihe stared at Chen Zhang's eyes, bit his lip lightly. She was actually a little worried that Chen Shang would not take her. Just now, she had been domineering to kill two powerful enemies, but at this moment, there was a hint of coquettish pleading in her cold, arrogant and beautiful eyes. "Of course I can," Chen Shang said with a smile. "First get enough beast cores. I also have to practice breakthroughs before I can go to the 5th floor." Chen Shang is still unable to determine what the mutation on the 4th floor is. He previously suspected that the beasts here had changed, but now he is not so sure. If he can find something stronger than beasts in the 4th floor, he can find the change of the 4th floor. The reason why he suspects that it is the change of the beast is mainly because the beast here cannot be seen from the outside. In the past, fierce beasts could be seen fighting in the lobby, but Chen Shang had been on the 4th floor for a long time, and they had never seen any beasts on the 4th floor. "Let's go, let's find the beast." Gong Baihe took Chen Zhang's hand and flew in the air. Although she looks very cold, She is holding Chen Zhang's hand now, but she is tender and warm. Sister He, are you unable to become a beast now? Chen Shang asked. Yes, now I can only conjure up the spirit of my beast. After Gong Baihe finished speaking, a pair of snow-white crane wings appeared on his back, big and beautiful, shining with white crystals. What about before the breakthrough? Chen Shang asked. The old rat and the eagle didn't turn into beasts in the end. The realm they are in is a special stage of degeneration. They can turn into beasts, but after they become beasts, they become very weak. Gong Baihe said, I don't know why it's so inexplicable. Cultivation, only know that the ultimate goal is to become a human. Chen Shang was secretly surprised. The cultivation of this fourth layer beast's human transformation is irreversible. After becoming a human, it cannot be turned back into a beast. He also saw that although Gong Baihe has become a human, he still retains the mighty power of a beast. I still have the power of beasts in my body. My body is equivalent to condensing the bodies of beasts. I have both human power and beast power, and the two powers are perfectly combined. Gong Baihe said, this is after my breakthrough. Powerful. So it is. Chen Shang is now certain that the change on the fourth floor is the beast here. If he wants to make a breakthrough, he has to eat a lot of beast pills, and then cultivate his fate, which is a breakthrough. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5017, Mysterious Boost. If it wasn't for you, I don't know when I will be able to step into this realm. Gong Baihe clenched Chen Zhang's hand tightly, and said softly to Chen Shang, thank you. You're welcome, Chen Shang said with a smile. Sister He, I also want to eat some beast pills to cultivate. Next time, I will have to work hard for you. Are you going to break through too? Gong Baihe knew that Chen Zhang's cultivation was different from hers. She was somewhat surprised by humans eating beast pills to break through. Yes, Chen Shang nodded. After I break through, I will enter the fifth floor. Although you have broken through, you will still be very weak when you enter the fifth floor. Gong Baihe said, I am the same as you. Going to the fifth floor is the weakest at the bottom. I know, Chen Shang said. I need the power of variables on the fourth floor. I have walked along the way and found that almost every floor has the power of variables. The power of variables. Gong Baihe didn't quite understand. Chen Shang cultivated the space fate on the second floor and obtained the space pearl. With the help of the power of these variables, he was able to refine the eternal flame fire crystal on the third floor, refine the eternal flame divine pill, and finally successfully cultivate the eternal flame fate. After coming to the fourth floor now, he also relies on the eternal flame to quickly refine those beast cores, otherwise it would be difficult for him to refine it. Therefore, he found that the power of variables in each layer is related to a certain extent. Sister He, let's put it this way. Because I cultivated flames through the power of variables on the third floor, I can use the eternal flame to easily refine the beast core on this floor, and I can quickly refine the beast pill. Chen Shang said, the power of variables on the fourth floor will have a great effect on the fifth floor. You mean, the power of variables on the fourth floor is the beast core power within the beast's body? Gong Baihe wondered. Yes, Chen Shang said, your cultivation path is very special, this should be the variable. I don't even know. Gong Baihe was surprised. When I make a breakthrough in my practice, I can roughly figure out what's going on. Chen Shang said. But you are not a vicious beast. If you eat the beast pill, what will you cultivate? Gong Baihe was very curious. You don't understand this, Chen Shang said with a smile. Ferocious beasts are essentially beasts. I also practiced this kind of thing in the past, similar to your kind of beast soul and celestial power. Really? Gong Baihe couldn't understand how a human being could cultivate the soul of a beast. When I break through, you will know, Chen Shang said. Chen Shang had indeed practiced before, because when he came into contact with the four elephants, he cultivated the beast elephants of Azure Dragon, White Tiger, Suzaku and Xuanwu, which also brought him great power. In the next time, Gong Baihe took Chen Shang to kill the beasts, and she didn't kill the beasts indiscriminately. She told Chen Shang that some vicious beasts have principles from beginning to end. After this kind of vicious beast turns into a human, it is also a kind of good person. She can distinguish it, so she will not kill randomly. And the other kind, like Elder Eagle and Elder Mouse, so she would never be soft-hearted in killing them. After Gong Baihe's breakthrough, most of the beasts that transformed into human beings were not her opponents at all, and they were all easily killed by her. Before he knew it, Chen Shang had been with Gong Baihe for more than a month. Gong Baihe had obtained more than 100 beast cores, all of which were given to Chen Shang. From time to time, he would contact Tian Yao and Da Lingshe to tell them about his situation, which could avoid their worries. And today, Da Lingshe sent a voice transmission to Chen Shang and said, "Junior brother, those 10 demon ancestors have entered the 4th floor. Ah, they seem to be a bit fast." Chen Shang calculated the time and was very surprised. "It's pretty fast," Da Lingshe said. After they disappeared on the 3rd floor for a while, they suddenly became very strong. "I don't know what happened. If you encounter them, you must be careful." "Got it." Chen Shang remembered this matter. It's not just that the disciples of the ancestors suddenly became stronger. Dalongzhu told us before that there has been a big change in the Shenzhen Xuanmo Tower. There may be a force secretly helping those disciples become stronger. Da Lingshe said. For the sake of to become stronger, they need to pay a certain price. Ah, what about the disciples of Yishan Longmen? Chen Shang asked. They have also become stronger. What is the specific situation? We will wait until the great dragon ancestor asks the Longmen disciples to find out. Da Lingshe said. Chen Shang only felt that this was not a good thing, because the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda was for trials and for training time cultivators. And now, because of the changes in the Shenzhen Profound Demon Tower, each floor is difficult. If the time cultivator finds out, in order to have enough disciples to reach the last floor smoothly, maybe they will help secretly. Time cultivator can't help in vain, and he will definitely make those disciples sign some kind of contract. Sister He, let's rest for a while. Chen Shang said, you are also quite tired these days. You can rest well, and I will also make these beast cores into beast pills by the way. Okay, Gong Baihe nodded. She liked watching Chen Shang refining pills the most, but she didn't say it. Chen Shang took her, chose a desert, then dived into the depths of the desert, opened up a large space underground, and released a pearl oyster. It's still the safest place you choose. Gong Baihe just thought about it before, just found a rocky mountain, and then dug a cave. With the protection of space shells, even if there is a big movement, it will be covered up. Chen Shang hid deep under the ground, and even released sturdy pearl oysters. This was indeed very safe. Sister He, do you know about this space shell? Chen Shang asked. I know, this is something from the 2nd floor. Gong Baihe said, it's also very famous. Someone once brought it from the 2nd floor and sold it to us. Sell? How to sell? Chen Shang was surprised. In exchange for animal cores. Gong Baihe said. That guy just brought 50 space shells, and they sold out quickly. I don't have enough animal cores, so I can only watch with envy. Is that person strong? Chen Shang was very curious. It's very strong, otherwise everyone won't honestly exchange with him. Gong Baihe nodded. Chen Shang suddenly felt that in the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda, someone also discovered the power of variables. If that person is still in the tower, he has to be on guard. Chen Shang started alchemy. With Gong Baihe guarding him, Chen Shang could go to practice at ease without worrying about being disturbed. At this time, Da Lingshe heard another news. Junior brother, there is news from the Longmen disciples that they told Longzhu that they have met the time cultivator. Da Lingshe said, it was the time cultivator who gave them a lot of help. What price do those disciples have to pay? Chen Shang asked. No need to pay any price. Da Lingshe said, I don't know what's going on. Chen Shang was very puzzled, because the time cultivator didn't find him. However, at this moment, he suddenly sensed a wave in the space. There is a situation. Gong Baihe also found out, and immediately became alert. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5018, Mysterious Demon Tower Great Change. Chen Shang immediately guessed that the time cultivator was coming. Sister Crane, be careful, the enemy is very strong. Chen Shang directly regarded the other party as an enemy. The time cultivator made so much confusion, he would not give the other party a good look. I know. Gong Baihe nodded. She naturally knew that because she could directly tear the space and appear here, she must master the transcendent power. After the space fluctuated for a while, it was suddenly torn apart, and then a middle-aged man appeared. He was also very surprised when he saw that Chen Shang was refining pills. The middle-aged man was dressed in black, with a handsome appearance and majestic eyes, and his temperament looked like a person of high authority. Chen Shang and Gong Baihe could not directly judge his strength, they only knew that if he could suddenly come here, he must have a strong spatial power. What's the situation? The middle-aged man looked at Chen Shang and frowned slightly. Chen Shang used the magical treasure furnace to concoct alchemy, and he was also assisted by the 9 treasures divine air array, so he could see the shocking alchemy scene very intuitively. Who are you? Gong Baihei's body was full of energy, and his cold and low voice carried a faint murderous aura, and at first glance, he knew that he was going to fight at any time. I'm here to find you. Although the middle-aged man was speaking to Gong Baihei, he looked at Chen Shang who was refining pills. Why did you come to me? Gong Baihei asked. Chen Shang was very surprised, he thought that the cultivator was here to find him at this time. You entered the 4th floor from the 5th floor, but you made a breakthrough on the 4th floor. Such talent is very rare, I am here to invite you to join us. But you need to complete all the trials to pass our assessment. The middle-aged man said. Who are you? Why should I join you? Gong Baihei had no plans to join the other party at all. She also knew very well that her breakthrough was not because of her talent but mainly because Chen Shang helped her. I'm from the ancient time and space. We are the incarnation of time, we control the operation of time. We invite you to join us to maintain the order of the operation of time. The middle-aged man smiled. My name is Yi Guangding, who is mainly responsible for inviting join us in the Temple of Time. Chen Shang was secretly surprised when he heard it. The cultivator actually wanted to invite the beast to join at this time. I refuse. Gong Baihei refused without thinking. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Many people can't ask for it. Yi Guangding was very surprised, and then looked at Chen Shang who was refining pills. No need, Gong Baihei said. I'm afraid you don't know anything about the Temple of Time, so please listen to me patiently. After you understand, you will definitely join in. Yi Guangding said with a smile. No, let's go. Gong Baihei ordered to evict the guests directly. Could it be because of this little brother's alchemy that allowed you to break through? Yi Guangding looked at Chen Shang and asked. What do you want to do? Gong Baihei immediately stood in front of Chen Shang and shouted in a louder voice. So it is. Yi Guangding nodded and said. This little brother is really a strange person. He actually mastered such a superb alchemy technique. Brother, how many people are participating in the assessment of this Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda? Chen Shang asked. I'm from another heaven. After I came in, I found out that this Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda is completely different from what I heard. It turns out that the little brother is from another heaven. Yi Guangding said with a smile. That's my other colleague. I only care about non-human beings, so I don't know much about the human assessment of the Shenzhen Xuanmo Tower. Although Gong Baihei is a human, she still belongs to the inhuman category. Chen Shang understood. The Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda is a big melting pot. Humans and all kinds of beasts who enter it will undergo various derivations under the influence of various laws and forces of the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda. If they can become stronger, there will be people from the Temple of Time to invite. Gong Baihei was perceived as something because of his breakthrough, so Yi Guangding came here. Is the current situation of the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda very chaotic? Chen Shang asked. It's a little confusing. Yi Guangding did not deny it, nodded and said, I don't know why, the situation here is different from what we expected before. It's only the 4th floor now. If it's the 18th floor, I don't know what the situation will be. Chen Shang said. There are no 18th floors, only 9 floors left. Yi Guangding smiled reluctantly. There was a small incident on the upper floor, so they merged with each other. Chen Shang was surprised in his heart. Where is this little situation? Obviously a big change. What's the situation on the 5th floor? Gong Baihei asked. The original 5th floor, 6th floor and 7th floor have been merged into 5th floor. The new 6th floor is a combination of other floors. Yi Guangding said. The situation is very complicated and it will be a test for you all. Without my help, it would be very difficult for you to survive on the 5th floor. Originally there were 18 floors, but now there are only 9 floors. In this way, the 5th floor is equivalent to the 7th floor, which is indeed very dangerous. When did it happen? Gong Baihei asked. Not long ago, Yi Guangding said. So, we will send someone to connect with you, and we will help you with the assessment, otherwise you will die if you go to the 5th floor. What price do I need to pay for accepting your help? Chen Shang asked. Do you have to join the Temple of Time? Join the Temple of Time voluntarily, we won't force it. Yi Guangding said. Actually, there will be no harm in joining the Temple of Time. Brother, you have to tell the truth. Chen Shang laughed and said, I still have a certain understanding of your time cultivators. The previous Daozu told him that if you want to become a time cultivator, you have to lose yourself in multiple times and spaces. This is the first test. Daozu didn't do it, and then he was sealed up. Little brother, you are quite capable. Yi Guangding smiled and said, it is really rare to know a little about our time cultivator. It's okay to join the Temple of Time, but we need to wait for us to complete the assessment, and then decide whether to join or not according to the specific situation. Chen Shang said, we are trying our best to complete the assessment, but we don't want to take a lot of risk to join any forces, and we will be tricked by then. If you don't agree, we can't help you. Then you can't complete the assessment at all. Yi Guangding shook his head and said, our help is not free. Then don't talk nonsense, let's go. Gong Baihe told the other party to leave directly. Actually, it's still negotiable. Yi Guangding didn't want to miss Gong Baihe and Chen Shang. Although he is responsible for recruiting non-human beings, he can also recruit when encountering human beings. You provide us with help first, and after we complete the assessment, then decide whether to join or not according to the conditions set out by your time temple. Chen Shang said, if you don't agree, then don't talk about it. I'll go back and think about it. Yi Guangding sighed and said, farewell. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5019, Invitation to the Temple. Yi Guangding left immediately. Although he had strong power, he did not attack Chen Shang and Gong Baihe. He seems to be bound by something to not fight with others. I don't want to join them. Gong Baihe said. Their conditions must be very harsh, I don't want to be controlled by others. Gong Baihe was originally a white crane beast, and used to fly very freely in the air. Joining the Temple of Time, does the ghost know what to make her do? Although she is the elder of Lingxianmen now, she is very free and does not need to obey anyone's orders. I don't want to join either. So the conditions he offered are unacceptable to him. If he accepts, then we are not at a loss. Chen Shang said. He had the idea of joining the Temple of Time before, mainly to enter it to inquire. What he cares about now is whether he can get the rewards he deserves when he goes to the last floor. It is from many star fields. If the time cultivator defaults on his debt, he can't do anything about it. After Yi Guangding left, he appeared in a white space with many long-haired old men in black robes. The old men were all dressed in black and looked very old, but their hair was black. Yi Guangding came to this white spacious space and walked towards a tall and thin old man. Elder of the Beast Domain, I have something important to discuss with you. Can I take a step to speak? Yi Guangding whispered. This Beast Domain elder, sitting at a table, looked at the many light spots that appeared on the table. Each light spot was filled with various messages or images. He read it with his divine sense and could directly read a lot of content. Xiaoyi, wait a moment. The elder of the Beast Domain looked at the table seriously and responded. The other old people here are like the elders of the Beast Domain, looking at the huge round table in front of them, and there are a lot of small light beads on the round table. Yi Guangding waited patiently beside him. After a while, the elder of the Beast Domain closed his eyes and seemed to cut off the connection with the table. Follow me. After the elder of the Beast Domain finished speaking, he took Yi Guangding to space jump and came to an elegant small hall. Sit down, what's the matter? The Beast Domain elder asked. Gong Baihe doesn't accept my invitation. Yi Guangding said. She doesn't want you to go out in person. Does she know nothing about the Temple of Time, or does she not recognize you? The Beast Realm elder looked puzzled and said, you are considered a high-ranking person in the Temple of Time, but you close the door, it shouldn't be. That's it, Yi Guangding said about the situation he encountered with Chen Shang. Alchemist, alchemy is still very good. The elder of the Beast Domain stroked his long black beard, then released a large crystal bead, and said, I'll take a look at his situation. He's beside Gong Baihe. Yi Guangding said, you can find him if you lock Gong Baihe. The elder of the Beast Domain closed his eyes and began to search. I can't find him, not even Gong Baihe. The Beast Domain elder was even more puzzled. Impossible, I just came back from Gong Baihe. After Yi Guangding finished speaking, he closed his eyes again to perceive, and frowned, I really can't find it. What's going on? We are not disconnected from the Shenzhen Profound Demon Pagoda. We can find other beasts and other people, but we can't find them. The elder of the Beast Domain took a deep breath and said, it seems that the Shenzhen Profound Demon Pagoda another change. That kid is a variable. Yi Guangding was surprised. Yes, it should be a big trouble. This kind of guy is the most troublesome. The Beast Domain Elder sighed and said, you find a way to find them, and then contact me. Elder of the Beast Domain, how do I find it? Yi Guangding asked. Where you have been before, go back and try again. If they are still there, you can find them. Said the Elder of the Beast Domain, it's better to hurry up. Okay, I'll go right now. Yi Guangding nodded, and immediately made a space jump. After Yi Guangding returned the same way, he appeared in the pearl shell again. Chen Shang was still refining pills, and Gong Baihe was also guarding him. After returning, Yi Guangding found that there was a strong space-time shield here. No wonder he and the elders of the Beast Domain couldn't find Chen Shang. This shocked Yi Guangding very much, because Chen Shang actually mastered the power of time and space, but he didn't seem to be very skilled. A senior is coming later. Yi Guangding said, do you mind? Come on. Chen Shang was not afraid of the time cultivator. He originally wanted to use this time as a cultivator to figure out where his Shen family went and the whereabouts of the Ghost Girl country. After obtaining Chen Zhang's consent, the Elder of the Beast Domain quickly sensed Yi Guangding's position, and then made a space jump. After the Elder of the Beast Domain came, he sensed the power of time and space, and he was also surprised, but he did not show it. Who are you? The Beast Domain Elder could see that Chen Shang was extraordinary at a glance, because he couldn't see Chen Zhang's past and future. I'm Chen Shang. Chen Shang said, I am the Beast Domain Elder of the Time Temple. The Beast Domain Elder nodded and said, your existence is very special, and it is not within the laws of our Time Temple. Really? Chen Shang just smiled. It seems that I am very lucky. It's almost impossible for this kind of thing to exist. I've only heard of it, and it's the first time I've seen someone like you today. Said the Elder of the Beast Domain. How many people are testing in the Shenzhen Xuanmo Tower? Chen Shang asked. Every floor should have people from multiple universes coming in, right? Yes, and most of them are 2 identical universes. Said the Elder of the Beast Domain. Even 3 identical universes, the same people are in it. Chen Shang now finally understands why the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda is so chaotic. It turns out that it is connected to the same universe world with different timelines. Why do you do this? Chen Shang asked. We are selecting excellent time monks. After the Beast Domain Elder finished speaking, he looked at Gong Baihe and said, there are 3 Gong Baihe in the Shenzhen Xuanmo Tower, only she survived, and the other 2 died long ago. The 5th floor. After Gong Baihe heard it, his face changed. Chen Shang was also slightly surprised. Chen Shang, you must know that the people and beasts in the Immortal War Profound Demon Tower have multiple different selves. Only you are the only one. The Beast Domain Elder said again. Is there anything special about me like this? Chen Shang asked. If you can pass the assessment, you must be an excellent time cultivator. Said the Elder of the Beast Domain. Chen Shang also wanted to find out about the time cultivator, and he could only understand it by joining the Temple of Time. Gong Baihe kept silent. She could see that Chen Shang wanted to join the Temple of Time. She didn't want to join the Temple of Time, but if Chen Shang wanted to join, even if she didn't want to, she would follow Chen Shang to join the Temple of Time. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5020, Horror 5th Floor. Chen Shang did not accept the invitation immediately. He must be cautious when facing this matter. He can trust the elders of the Beast Domain with his mind and eyes, but he doesn't know anything about the Temple of Time. The elders of the Beast Domain are only a member of the Temple of Time, and they do not completely control the Temple of Time. Just that he is reliable is useless, it takes the Temple of Time to be reliable too. Chen Shang didn't want to join the Temple of Time directly. If it was an abyss, it would be very difficult for him to climb out. Elder of the Beast Domain, wait for me to pass the assessment before making a choice. Chen Shang said. No, if you don't agree, we can't help you. The Elder of the Beast Domain shook his head and said, this is the rule of the Temple of Time. The power we help you comes from the Temple of Time, I hope you can understand. In other words, when we don't know the Temple of Time at all, we must agree to join the Temple of Time in order to get your help, right? Chen Shang asked. Yes, the Beast Domain Elder nodded, and Yi Guangding, who was beside him, also nodded. Chen Shang looked at Gong Baihe. Although Gong Baihe was silent and had no expression, Chen Shang could see from her eyes that no matter what decision she made, she would follow. Of course he also knew that Gong Baihe didn't want to join the Temple of Time. Then I refuse, Chen Shang said. Brother Shen, please think about it again. The opportunity is rare, the Beast Domain Elder said with a look of regret. If you don't join, you will soon lose the chance. How to say? Chen Shang asked. Because the number of places is limited, said the Elder of the Beast Domain. The Temple of Time has only given 50,000 places in total. Now there are few left, you have to hurry up. I have already decided that I will not join the Temple of Time. Chen Shang said firmly, because I can't trust the Temple of Time. I don't know much about the internal situation of the Temple of Time. If there are many constraints, it will most likely be very unfavorable to me. I'm not joining either, Gong Baihe said. Okay, respect your decision. The Elder of the Beast Domain sighed and said, there will be a period later. After that, he took Yi Guangding and left. Gong Baihe stepped forward, took Chen Zhang's hand, and said, no matter what decision you make, I will follow you. Sister He, you also have your own way to go. You don't have to follow me all the time. Chen Shang said with a smile. When you leave the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda, you will know that the outside world is colorful and it will be very pleasant to stay by my side. Boring. Chen Shang really didn't expect that such a cold and arrogant woman like Gong Baihe would actually stick to him like that. He can only blame his own alchemy skills for being too clever, making Gong Baihe give up. In fact, he didn't know that the moment Gong Baihe saw him, he decided to be with Chen Shang. If you don't need me to follow, I can leave at any time, I won't bother you. Gong Baihe said. It's not that you're annoying. Chen Shang hurriedly made a ha-ha, and said with a smile, Sister He, I'll continue alchemy, we have to get to the last floor as soon as possible and stay away from this hellish place. Yeah, Gong Baihe nodded. Chen Shang continued to concoct pills, he was going to eat a lot of beast pills and try to cultivate a new lifestyle. Gong Baihe didn't know much about the Immortal War Profound Demon Pagoda, because she had been trapped on the 4th floor for many years, and she never thought of going to the 5th floor before she met Chen Shang. But now, she learned that the 5th floor was completely different from that year, because the original 6th and 7th floors were merged into the 5th floor, meaning that the current 5th floor is very chaotic. Gong Baihe was also very worried because of her current strength, and she was not too weak in the 5th floor of that year. But now the 5th floor is not what it used to be, there are things from the 6th and 7th floors. The strongest guys on the 5th floor are already very scary, and the things on the 6th and 7th floors are definitely more terrifying. While Chen Shang was refining pills, he kept an eye on Gong Baihe. Seeing that she was very worried, he asked, Sister He, what are you thinking about? I'm thinking, after we go to the 5th floor, how will we survive? Gong Baihe said. The 5th floor now has things on the 6th and 7th floors, which are very dangerous. So I was thinking about this. Chen Shang said with a smile. Don't worry, the 5th floor is very big, as long as you get there, there will be a way. No, Gong Baihe shook his head and said, I was on the 5th floor, and I was walking on the edge of death every day. I don't know what happened to the 5th floor after the 6th and 7th floors were merged. It should be worse yet. Really, did you have nowhere to hide back then? Chen Shang was surprised. There is nowhere to hide, because the 5th floor is very small. Gong Baihe said, I have been on the 4th floor for many years, but I still don't know how big this floor is. However, the 5th floor, I know how big it is. Quote. Chen Zhang's eyes twitched, such an environment is indeed very terrifying. He came up from the 1st floor, and each floor was so big that it was boundless. If the 5th floor was small, and there were creatures from the 6th floor and the 7th floor joining, it would be really scary. Chen Shang had a headache just thinking about it, the 5th floor was indeed not as easy to survive as he thought. No wonder the Temple of Time wants to help, otherwise it's really hard to get along. Chen Shang said. If the 5th floor is still as big as before, as long as we go to the 5th floor, every day will be like a nightmare. Gong Baihe said, if she was killed before, she would not have gone to the 5th floor. The reason why she is going now is to follow Chen Shang. It wasn't because Chen Shang was able to concoct pills, but because she somehow suddenly had this kind of courage. Maybe, she didn't want Chen Shang to go to the 5th floor alone, she wanted to accompany him to the end, even if she died, she wanted to die with him. The 5th floor is so dangerous, why do you still follow me? Maybe we will all die. Chen Shang said. Gong Baihe didn't express her emotions, because she was not good at this kind of thing. But Chen Shang had already seen it, Gong Baihe was willing to die with him. He sighed inwardly. Don't worry, we won't die. Chen Shang still had means to save his life. Chen Shang is refining the beast pill, eating it, and cultivating at the same time. He has to speed up. Because other sect disciples will definitely advance by leaps and bounds with the help of the Temple of Time. If it was before, he would not have this kind of pressure at all. Chen Shang is not willing to lag behind others, so he must hurry up. After the Beast Domain Elder and Yi Guangding returned, they were discussing this matter in an elegant small hall. Elders of the Beast Realm, it's a pity that they don't want to join the Temple of Time. Yi Guangding sighed. They will definitely die on the 5th floor. It's hard to survive in that kind of place. Yeah, the Elder of the Beast Domain was also very sorry, and couldn't help sighing. I hope they can all live.